All right, so we're back live. Bazel, Mr. J the Six, bring you a couple topics today. So we want to start off with my favorite, motorcycles and actual motorcycle awareness. It's dangerous in these streets for a motorcycle, and also it's dangerous for cars with dangerous motorcycle drivers. Never know what could be coming around the corner. Bikes are small, fast, agile. I'm Miss Crystal Queen K.
What it do, K? Thanks for coming by.
And quite honestly, I have a bike sense because I'm riding. I know where they could be, where they may be. And I was even thinking today when I was in traffic, I was like, I wonder if other bikers have it's like bike sense. It's almost Spidey sense. Like I could just be not really paying attention, but paying attention to my driving, but not looking for a motorcycle. And then I'd be like, hold on, left mirror. And there'll be a bike maybe 5-6 cars back. But just even before I can hear them, I just know that they're there. I don't know why, but I feel like it's just something that I know I do. Well, I don't do the dangerous weaving in and out. I don't do all that. But I know if I was on a bike, I want somebody to be looking for it, and I just happen to just seem to always know where they are before I can hear or really see them. I just know. I mean, what are your experiences? Do you happen to just see them before, or do you just hear them while they're flying past doing ridiculous numbers?
Depending on how fast they're going, I usually hear them first before I see them, because I usually I stay in my lane. I don't really swerve, but majority of the time when I'm on the highway, freeway, I hear them before like going like 20 miles over the speed limit. Right before about the merge, I checked me out. All of a sudden, I think like because I had a couple of close calls. Thankfully, they never matured into something.
Yeah, bikers do say loud pipes save lives, and I have seen some instances where that works, but at the same time, that pipe is shooting backwards, so it does give a little warning, but it's not as big as a warning that most bikers think. I mean, some guys' bikes are so loud, you do hear them from half a mile away, and at that level, that amount of noise is just pure ridiculousness. Like, I hate when my bike drones off too loud, so I shift up 2 gears just to quiet it down because I don't want to hear all that noise myself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for me, attention is everything. People in their cars have to pay attention. I mean, not just for bikes, but for other cars, trucks, semis. But I mean, attention has to be paid by a biker 24/7, 365. As a biker, I have to watch out for everybody who's around me and also who could be coming. Because as a bike, I might be doing my thing. And like always, I don't know what it is with Chargers and Challenger guys, anybody who's in a Mopar, they always want to pull up and rev the engine like every bike wants to race. Like, bro, I don't have time. I'm doing my thing. I'm just chilling. Just leave me be. And I mean, it just happens. I watch out for other bikes while I'm riding because though I'm not going to do anything wild and crazy, many other people are. I don't know. For some guys, it's almost like a thrill. Like getting between two cars that are close together, like they feel like they're testing their ability for some reason. I don't quite know why. I'll go between cars if they're at a really slow pace. If there's bad traffic, and there's the wife. What's up? If there's bad traffic and bikes are maybe, even though they have liquid cooling, 80% of a bike's cooling system is air. Like not moving forward, then a lot of times you'll be close to that heat point. And if you get to that heat point, your bike will start to have crazy issues in traffic. So I try not to, but sometimes I just have to ride between bikes or I have to ride on the shoulder to get air into my engine. Because if I do not, I'll be on the side of the road standing there looking crazy with a blown gasket, which nobody wants.
Right.
That and if it's 95 degrees and traffic's doing 10 miles an hour, like there's no reason for me to be sitting there between two cars because at the same time, stop and go traffic, people look at their phone, and when they look at their phone, they don't see the bike in front of them, even though the bike's been in front of them for 2 miles. And they sandwich the bike between the car that was in front of the bike and themselves, which is, I mean, let's be honest, it's pretty damn dangerous. I've seen more than enough wrecks where a bike is sandwiched between two cars because somebody who was in traffic stopped paying attention to the bike that's been in front of them for 5 minutes in traffic, or a bike that stopped at a red light and the person is speeding up, looking down at their phone, and they hit the bike. And I've seen a guy get hit off his bike onto the top of the car in front of him by somebody not looking at a red light. So at a red light, I sit on the white line and I look back and I look that person in their eye until they stop. And if they do not stop, I pull up into the cars between that's in front and between those two cars because he's going to have to hit one of them before he has a chance to hit me. That's just what it is. So, some laws. One law that needs to be changed: motorcycle filtering at red lights and or in slow traffic, which there's actually more accidents of the in traffic or at red lights than guys who are speeding on the highway. Almost every other European country, and let me see, Colorado, Los Angeles, and I believe, well, LA, and I believe California, sorry, and 2 other states have lane filtering. Accidents in traffic have gone down. Motorcycles can get through and get out of the way. It helps traffic. But even in states where that is legal, you have so many people in cars who will open their door so a bike can't pass, or they'll literally get on the white line and stop a bike from passing, even though it is legal for a bike to do it in their state, simply because people are jealous. They do not like the fact that a bike can slide between the middle of traffic legally and they have to sit in this bumper to bumper traffic. It irritates them so much that they're willing to put a biker's life in danger for whatever godforsaken reason that they feel entitled. I was trying not to use the Karen words, but you know. Yeah, unfortunately, Reg has been a little bit sick for a while. Reg needs to go and get checked because we need Reg healthy. That's what we need.
Yeah, Mr. Number said the food critic and Reg Bayless, man. Outlandish takes.
So, Jay, what laws would you want to see enacted? Whether it's to make motorcyclists ride safer, or to keep them safe, or just stuff that you think would make sense as far as laws on or for motorcycles?
Okay.
I mean, me, I'm not.
Okay.
So for me, I'm not an avid bike rider myself, but dealing with them on a day-to-day basis, especially here in Texas with the Harley Davidsons. I'm not gonna get into specifics. I don't know about that, but some laws, like if you're gonna trying to squeeze in between cars, because I mean we can't stop them from doing it. At least like don't just go blazing down between the lanes. Go slow at least. Like if somebody when it starts raining, you're supposed to slow down at least 5 or 10 miles, just for safety reasons. I think the same should apply for bikers that try to do that. Because I understand, you're just one person, one or two people, depending on your companion. But yeah, just get just go slow in between cars, because like you said, people are on their phones, not paying attention. No way. But as soon as somebody opens that car door, you you gonna go flying. You gonna be mad.
Well, in the states where the
Between,
laws are for lane filtering, you can. It's only when traffic is down to 30 miles an hour or less, and the motorcycle is supposed to
Mhm.
only be doing 10 miles an hour or more. Oh, well, up to 10 miles an hour more. So traffic has to be less than 30, and the bike should be doing no more than 40 miles an hour. They're doing lane splitting at full 60, 70 miles an hour. That's, yeah, we'll just call that insanity.
Right.
We'll definitely call that insanity. That's, I mean, I was literally on my bike and I saw a guy, he passed me. I was short of it. He passed me, and at the speed that he passed me, I didn't even know what type of bike he was on. Like he was literally just gone. And I was like, oh, okay, this is great. So he was literally just out of there. And I mean, even trying to slow down the camera angle click by click, I still don't know what bike he had. And people ask me, hey, why don't you just lane split? Well, I would, but there's this thing called, I don't know, the law. And in Maryland, DC, and Virginia, last time I checked, even if I were lane splitting at 5 miles an hour, if a cop sees me, I can get a reckless endangerment charge. That's how strict the
wow,
laws
I
are,
didn't know that.
right, against bikes here. So, it's not worth it for me.
So you just having a bike, period, man. You playing with fire.
Right. So for
I'm
me,
gonna say they rubbing their hands like Birdman around you.
oh yeah, they hear you coming. Like even if they're not looking, if they hear you coming, they'll pull that gun out real quick and oh, okay, he wasn't going fast enough for me to pull him over.
Whoa. Get at your mouth.
Dangerous drivers. I've had some in my day. I've had some guys come clear across 3 lanes and almost hit me. I've had guys, I mean, just pull out of nowhere and like literally just be coming off of a stop sign, not even not stop at a stop sign, but just be coming around the corner with a stop sign and whip out to the second or third lane because they weren't trying to stop. And I had to make a quick decision on which way to go. A really quick decision because there's still cars around me. So it's either do I brake, do I have time to brake, do I have to crack the throttle and shift over? And
Right.
I mean, I've even had, and I have a short of this, I was in the left part of the lane and there was a car. And this guy literally splits his car halfway over the white line in my lane and this guy's lane to pass me within my lane because he didn't feel like waiting, even though it was still wet and rainy that day. And the funny part is, like, he literally lane split between me and another car. And so I sent it to the state of Maryland. And it had the license plate and everything. And they're like, oh, there's nothing we can do.
Wow.
But at the same time, states will go after motorcycle YouTubers and be like, yeah, you were speeding on this video. It shows your dash showed 90 miles an hour. And, and they'll come to their house and issue them a ticket or a warrant. But you got cars doing illegal stuff that's caught on camera. And it's just like, oh, we weren't there. So there's nothing we can do.
So let it be you though. Let it be you in reverse. Then they was like, oh,
let it be me. They'll come track me down. They'll be waiting at my job. Hey,
right.
was this you on this video? Hey, Jared.
It's good, Jared.
Yeah, that's what we were saying, Reg. Like, it's danger both ways. Have you seen any? Like, I guess, have you seen any drivers put a biker at risk?
Seen any drivers put a biker at risk lately, or Actually, not gonna lie, this morning, I was on my way to school from one of my classes. I had to like do like an evasive maneuver because a biker like kind of slammed his brakes. Like there was no time for me to slam my brakes. So I had like kind of drive off the side of the road. Thankfully, I wasn't on a bridge or anything. I was screwed. But but yeah, they were working on the power lines, I guess on the right side, and I guess the biker didn't see. All right, I'm going the speed limit, and whatever. But the bikers decided to go, just boom, just like he almost crashed. He almost like flips off of his stuff, and then the car behind me almost crashed into me. On another time, you know how you see those bikers that are doing like those wheelies for no reason, down the highway.
Yeah, I've seen them. Some of those guys do a wheelie for a whole mile and a half, and I'm just like,
why?
Okay,
and how?
Good balance and throttle control.
Yeah, it's not for me then. I'm good.
And it's something I'm not willing to do.
All right.
Like people are like, oh yeah, pop wheelie. Nope. First of all the oil goes to the back of the engine, so the top of your engine's just beating like a drum with hardly any lubrication. I'm not about to burn my bike out looking cute for you. You make a YouTube short and get rich off me doing a wheelie. I gotta replace my bike in a couple years. No, I'm good. So now let's get to the part that all y'all four wheelers, and they always call you guys cagers, because you got the Rager cagers that anything that happens, whether it's another car, it's a bike or a truck, they have a whole total fit. So what kind of dangerous riders situations can you give us?
What are you talking about? Like not four wheels. When you say four wheels, I'm thinking of a different thing, like actual like ATVs and stuff. What do you mean, like just total like
if they're ATVs, dirt bikes, motorcycles? If they're on the street, like you had a guy do a wheelie past you, the occasional, especially in Texas roadways, because y'all got them long straight roads.
I mean,
so I know
none lately while I've been living here, but when I was living in South Carolina at the time, people would be driving their ATVs all the time, and for some roads, especially where my grandfather lives, they're going like a one, what's it called? Like kind of like just one way, or it would just be divided. It wasn't like 2 lanes; it would just be like 1 lane. And ATV, I don't know if they were just going to the store, or they were just or if that was the actual transportation. But they'd be trying to go around like actual like the cars, like Camrys, F-150s, and I'll be seeing like close calls. And I'm looking at, I know like I don't know how they do in Maryland, but I know police be sitting like somewhat like hitting valleys or dugouts. So I'm looking like, and one time I saw, I saw like police ahead of time, like a point like a half mile out, and ATV, like a person on the ATV just revving it, goes past us, and like we were going a smooth like 60 miles. So I don't know how high his ATV got, but yeah, he got past us. He dangerously, he wasn't supposed to pass us because you can't do that. That's illegal. And I know that the police, I know the police saw him. I'm thinking, but they ain't do nothing. I'm thinking like, yo, if you would have crashed into us or to another person on the opposite side, then what? Let that be me, on my TV at the time. I'll be in handcuffs, Dave Chappelle style.
Yeah, some of them guys, some jurisdictions have a no chase thing for ATVs, dirt bikes, and motorcycles, because they're at fear that a lot of motorcyclists, ATVs, and dirt bikers will do crazy stuff and sometimes kill themselves trying to get away from cops. And some markers, like in Virginia State Police, they will hit you off your motorcycle.
Oh, wow.
There was a guy on Dulles Toll Road leaving the airport, and he was speeding, and cop pulled out, and he was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go for it." And he got to a certain point. He was like, "Yo, it's not even worth it. I'll just take the ticket." And he slows down and stops, and the cop hits him and puts him in ICU. But VSP does not release any body cam or chase footage.
And of course.
So you got to take them to court and sue and go to discovery to even get this shit to prove your case. Like there's other cases where guys have said, "Yo, like I was running from VSP and they caught up, and instead of like get me to pull over, whatever, they literally hit me off my bike."
That's an accident or death within itself.
Right. So I mean. But a lot of jurisdictions, they do not chase bikes because it's just not worth it. Bikes could, one cop, he literally went down the shoulder and tried to hop back in and hit a car and kill somebody trying to chase a motorcycle. So I know in Maryland and DC, if you got those bikes or those ATVs or those dirt bikes, they'll turn on the lights. But if you get to a dense traffic area, they just back off.
I remember seeing like at least like once or twice where a cop. I know that they would do it to like regular cars too. Like if you don't pull over in a certain amount of time, I think somewhere or some states they're allowed to do this certain maneuver to get you to stop, regardless.
Yeah, they can do
like crash. Pit maneuver. Regardless if you crash or not. And like, yo, if you don't stop, I know, we're taught, or at least I was taught today, make sure you get to like a place where it's like it's lit, it's people. I guess this person didn't feel comfortable because it was pitch black. But so I understand what that person was trying to do. I don't think they weren't trying to evade. They had the hazard lights on and everything, but it was just pitch black. Like, even I can have trouble seeing. But except I saw of course, the police's red, white, and blue lights. Like the only reason why I could see was because of my of my headlights. Outside of that, there was no lights at all. It was like I think that the nearest sign was maybe 3 miles out. As soon as I got around him, I saw like I ain't gonna say all that, but
so my favorite one. It's the fault goes both ways. Now, I being a biker, and a lot of people don't realize that when bikers see a replay of an accident or an incident or whatever, as bikers, I can talk about my mama, but you can't talk about my mama. We will roast. We see a video where a biker did something dumb, and we will roast them. But even sometimes when the biker isn't fully at fault, as a biker, we will say, "Yo, yeah, that car did something stupid and it did something ridiculous, but you had a way out and you didn't take it, or you weren't got into the situation." And you could have pulled yourself out before something bad happened, but you didn't. And even sometimes when the biker is pretty much right, and maybe there was a 3 to 4% chance, 3 to 4% chance of him getting out of it, that they'll still be like, well, if you had did this or you had did that, you would actually, still not be in a situation. Quite plainly, like sometimes bikers will find a fault of the biker, even though it could be clear that the car's at fault, like 100%. Like with my thing, when the car came into my lane, there's some bikers who would say, "Well, you should have noticed that he was driving like an idiot," or if you were in the middle of the lane, if you were in the middle of the lane, he wouldn't have been able to do that. But it's my lane. So I'm on the inside of the lane because the the curve goes to the right. So if I start to slip a little, I have room to correct myself before I'm in the next person's lane. But I literally asked somebody to tell me, if you rode in the middle of the lane, he couldn't have done that. Like, if his ass would have waited 4.7 seconds because I was passing the car, he would have still got past the car. And some guys in cars just believe, hey, I'm bigger than you. You should be out of my way. Or, oh, if you're so agile, you know, when I make this maneuver, you should be able to get around me because, you know, you're supposed to be a motorcycle rider. You know what you're doing.
All right. And especially with the people with the bigger trucks, not even like the F-150s, that 250s, the now some SUVs. So.
Yeah, you know what I tell them? When I get in my 33-foot box truck, you better stay here. If I see your SUV, I'm gonna run clean, smooth through you. Because when I see the dump truck and I see the Mack truck and the 18-wheeler, I stay out of his way because I know who's heavier. But when I see a car, I try to stay out of their way because I'm not trying to kill somebody. Being the bigger vehicle is all cute and whatnot, but you're also the slower vehicle, and there's always a vehicle bigger than your vehicle. There is no superior vehicle, and that's the problem. A person on a bike is faster than the car, but the car says I'm bigger than you. A person in the truck says, yeah, the car's faster, but I'm bigger than the car. But then it goes up to the truck, goes up to the dump truck, it goes up to the 18-wheeler. Hell, an 18-wheeler still has to duck a train.
No.
There is really no apex predator when it goes to transportation because it's always something. But one of my favorite things, like I was saying, automatic blame. If you're on the bike, the cops automatically assume you're in the wrong.
Really?
It's so many videos I've seen on YouTube where something happened and the cop shows up and they're on the biker's ass. They haven't even spoken to witnesses yet. They're on the biker's ass. Being a biker is like being black in America. You call the cops and they go talk to the other people first. By the time they get to you, they've already made the decision. My homeboy is a professional racer, like a professional motorcycle racer. He was making a left turn, and the lady coming across was making her left turn too wide. And he had to overcorrect, and his back tire slid out on some gravel. And you know what the cop told him? Here's your ticket for failure to maintain control of your vehicle. With the witness statement saying that the lady turned extra wide and almost hit him. So his insurance wouldn't cover his bike damages. He had to get his bike home and repair it himself.
Wow.
Soon,
he knows how to repair stuff. I mean, that's good, but at the same time, yes.
Sight unseen, cop pulled up and said, "Hey, let me get this ticket right fast, and I'm gonna get up out of here." And the lady didn't stop, so the lady didn't stop, and the witness who was witnessing for him still enough. Instead of looking for the lady, which again he rides with his camera on, so instead of looking for the lady, the guy was like, "Yeah, well, she didn't stop, and you guys didn't actually make contact. So here's your ticket for failure to maintain." So that was the insanity of that. I mean, what can be done? Better laws, better enforcement, better people riding, better people driving.
Listen to both sides at least. Like,
yeah, I mean, everything's always a full collective. It has to be a front and it has to be a back to everything. I mean, absolutely everything.
I understand. I know people know a lot to try to get out of stuff. So there's like a two-way sword, two-way street, with that. But most, not even just cop cars. Most people are driving with cameras you can get off Amazon or Walmart because you just never know. Instead of not being like he say, she said, like, nope, here's proof. Yada yada, using in court, whatever. No, I got copies.
Yeah, DWC. I did forget this. In other countries, to get your license for a car, you have to take the course for motorcycles just to raise the awareness of motorcycles on the road. Because in other countries, like say Italy, you'll pull up to a red light and there'll be 25 or 30 mopeds, motorcycles, what have you, that they actually have a space in front of the car line, in between the car line and the red light line, for all of the two-wheel devices, two-wheel, I guess, vehicles to gather inside of that line because they have a higher acceleration rate and it helps them get out of the way of the cars so that it actually lessens traffic. The young boss. So it actually, they've actually researched and it helps traffic because you think 20 or 30 of these guys are out of the way so more cars can move forward and more cars can get through lights without, that period where you're waiting for all the cars to slowly move up so that you can make it through the intersection. That gets eliminated. Mm-hmm. So it's less people lagging at the lights. And if I can get my bike home 20 minutes earlier, I can be out of the way. You no longer have to worry about me. They've done traffic studies. It proves that it helps traffic. And when you help traffic, you have less angry people on the goddamn road.
You save lives.
Right. At the same damn time. And hell, in other countries, which America needs to do, you have to start off at a 125cc. And you have to have a certain amount of experience each year to move your bike up. It takes 3 or 4 years to own a 600cc bike. And I think in some parts of Europe, it takes 5 to 7 years of riding before you can get a 1000cc bike. In America, you get your license, you can get a 1600cc Hayabusa and do 200 miles down the damn road. And the first day you got your license, it's just like, hey, if you can buy the Ferrari, cool. You can go ahead and ride it. But in motorcycle terms, you can't even get a 19-year-old who can drive a Ferrari properly, let alone one that can ride a motorcycle properly. I mean, there are some people who, like me, if I have a son or a daughter, I'll put them on the 50cc dirt bikes from a young age so they understand, yes, this is two wheels. Yes, it's fast and maneuverable. But yes, when you fall off of it, you will know.
I'll say some skin are gonna be gone. Some bones maybe right. Let's not cross fingers on that.
Right. So let's teach you from a young age when you can recover. This is not a toy.
Right.
And this is not the game to be playing. Don't worry. We might get young J6 over there on the motorcycle sometime soon.
Yeah, you got to talk about Mama Bear with that one. You might do that better.
Yeah, I mean, those little mini bikes, they're not dangerous.
Yeah, that's not my fight. It's not my fight. No, but I do remember in my childhood though that my grandfather the ATV I was talking about earlier, he actually gave me when I was stupid, like I won't say 8, 9. But he would have a shed. He would always park it or whatever. And every time I would come visit, he would bust it out, tune up, make sure everything's good, gas, yada, everything's oiled. But yeah, he'd be teaching me like the different gears, how to do the brakes, and everything. Of course, in his own yard, in the backyard, because my mom was flipping out. But of course, grandfathers, the old grand OGs got the final say. It's like, hey, I created you. So I could, I said this. I definitely can teach my grandson, a few, a few things or two. And I'm glad you did though, for real.
Yeah, I mean, with these e-bikes and these mini bikes, they are just as dangerous as motorcycles, but because people see it as oh, it's just like a bicycle. No, it's just as dangerous as a motorcycle because some of these are doing 40 and 50 miles an hour these days. And guys are actually
That's right.
putting like extra charges on them that have e-bikes doing 50 and 60 miles an hour. Like e-bikes are on the beltways, some places doing 70 miles an hour because this guy's put some type of electric supercharger on it. And this thing is just passing people going down the road. There's a
Hell, I
video of a
see.
guy-
I'm saying, yeah, I see some people with scooters, no electric scooters, just zoom. I'm not talking about the ones you see downtown. Like, no, these people are flying.
Right. Yeah, go-karts were big when I was like younger too. Like there was always somebody who built a go-kart or bought a go-kart off somebody for a couple $100. Go-karts
Fixed it up,
are
you know what I'm saying?
definitely
Yeah,
fun.
add a little cage or whatever.
All right. Shit. We'll be back in 90 seconds because this next topic might take a little bit longer than I expected. I gotta grab something real quick. We'll be back in. Yeah, sorry about that. Got a notification. Apparently, it was a false notification. Look, Reg, I'm covering for your sick self. I didn't say I was exactly healthy either. And yes, it was an intermission.
Strong immune system.
If I could get some whole music on here without getting copyright infringement from out of wherever in God's world. Actually, something was supposed to be getting delivered, and of course, the guy, instead of leaving at the door, was talking about he couldn't get upstairs. And I walk into the hallway, and I'm waiting for the elevator, and he comes up on the elevator. So I don't know. I might should cut his tip in half, but I ain't gonna be like that. He's probably just a little bit lost.
It happens.
Yeah, well, at least he came when we were starting the next one.
Right.
I don't even know if I spelled this right, but the poisoning of our food by Monsanto. If you don't know who Monsanto is, they own so many companies that it looks like a shell corporation. How many companies they own? There's nothing that you can eat that doesn't have something to do with what they make. Like literally, if you said you weren't going to eat any Monsanto products unless you're about to grow your own food, you ain't eating the goddamn thing. That's how tied up in these streets they are. They are them people.
Beat them boys.
You think McDonald's got shit locked? I remember I said, I wonder how much stuff Monsanto make. They own over like 45 food related companies. They're basically like Johnson and Johnson. They're the food version of Johnson and Johnson. And trust me, they don't make all their stuff healthy. And guess what? The FDA don't even want no problems with them because they sneak all types of stuff in your food.
I thought the FDA was supposed to help us. What you mean?
FDA helps what they want. If you didn't know, the term natural is not a regulated term by the FDA. They can slap the label natural on Cheetos. They can slap natural. They can slap the term natural on McDonald's food, GMO products. Anything can be natural. They say they regulate organic, but I mean, once you are listed as organic, shoot, they hardly even walk through and right. They don't even have to disclose the stuff that's not FDA approved. And yes, the only thing the FDA regulates is payoffs, because if you're a poor farmer, they be up your ass. You got money, they just want their cut.
I say, listen, man. I know this food, killed about maybe 20 people in the local town. But if you slide, cool 5Gs, I'll make it seem like it ain't even happen. Cool. All right.
Right. I mean, you got food out here that's got so much chemicals in it that it actually is basically putting holes in your brain. It messes up your memory, your taste buds. It messes up your it does, your motor functions. There's stuff that's in this food that is so chemically induced that you honestly will associate different things to having the same taste, because the chemicals have really actually messed with the communication of your brain.
So you tell me, so even like some stuff that vegans may eat, they not even safe.
So being vegan is safe, but the process that they make some of the vegan food with is probably as dangerous as eating meat itself. So even as a vegan, you got to be careful what you're eating, because yes, it was not made with any meat or any animal byproducts, but they probably did some other things to make it taste the way that it tastes, that if you knew the process that they put it through, you probably wouldn't eat it, because the whole point of going vegan is that it's healthier than eating meat or dairy. Yeah, unless you're growing your own food, and even then, plants absorb chemicals in the air. So unless you're growing your own food in a greenhouse that is, you have filters to filter out impurities in the air and gas and all that stuff, eating rabbit bacon is better than eating turkey bacon, because they have to do some things to it to make that stuff really do what it's supposed to do.
So no matter what we do, or if you decide to eat healthy, we still screwed.
Yeah, I'm guilty of this. I love good food. If you can make natural food, I'm in. But I mean, sometimes I just take something quick just to keep my stomach from going crazy and get the hell on.
I had to do that today. In my accountants class. I like to eat, I guess, a little bit, better. Every now and then. But I was rushing this morning to get the kids ready, and I was booking it to my to school, and I didn't have breakfast or anything. My accounting class starts at 11, and I'm thinking like, man, the only thing that's around the way before I'm late is some vending machines. So I had to get like some Lifesaver gummies and a Mountain Dew real quick so I can stay awake, because I'm running on fumes.
Yeah, for me, if I'm growing my own food, I would have to I'd have to create not. I would use the barrel method for water, but I'd have to create some type of, I don't know, charcoal or some type of water filter because, like Dee Wee said, anything that you put into the ground, those plants and whatnot can absorb.
Mm-hmm.
See what message?
What you mean?
Yeah, that's
What
I can
message?
see messages from Jay's stream and from my stream at the same time in the StreamYard. So
And vice versa. I mean, well, I hope so.
yeah, because Queen K is on your stream, and I can see her stuff from your stream.
Yeah, I said, what's up to Mr. Galloway?
Oh, he was saying because you have your stream, Mr. Galloway might be in my stream, not be able to see what you said. But yeah, you have to worry about all that stuff because I mean, some of the stuff that's in this food mess with you neurologically. It can definitely mess with you internally, shorten your lifespan. Like people always say, why do I avoid pork so bad? Well, first of all, pork meat is the closest. Pigs have the closest meat content to humans themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing. Two, they don't have sweat glands to sweat out the toxins in their body. So when they kill a pig, all of their toxins are still in the meat. You cannot cook all that out.
Right.
It is not possible to cook all that out.
And pigs have,
right, and they have the most, as far as I know, for an animal, they have the most parasites and worms inside of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I remember like they taught us when I was in the Air Force. For some reason, while we, if you were in the wilderness, I don't know why I did a technician will be in the wilderness, but that's neither here or there. But long story short, my flight chief at the time, she said if you pour like a can of Coke on like a pork, or if you happen to like kill a hog, like carry a can of Coke or something, and you will see like all these like worms or parasites. You see all these worms and parasites, come come out. I'm looking like that is crazy.
Yeah, because I mean, like I said, they have no way to get rid of their toxins. So anything that gets in that pig or anything that they eat that gets into them, like they don't. It's a lot of stuff they don't regulate. Their bodies don't self-regulate. So it's just like when you're eating that pig, whatever he ate is still in him. And it's been linked to different types of cancers based on how much pork and stuff you eat. So, I mean, my weakness is still bacon sometimes, and really my weakness is pepperoni. My weakness is pepperoni. If I can get a place that has beef pepperoni, I'll take it. But pepperoni is probably really the only pork that's really the only pork I'd probably ingest. Pepperoni, killer. Like I could do without bacon on sandwiches and all that shit. That's perfectly fine. When that pepperoni come out, I'll be sitting like, boy, hey, let me get that cheese and let me get the cheese and the green peppers. Yeah. Okay.
For me, the only time I would truly, I guess, need, I ain't gonna say need, or all this why I want bacon is about making like one of my burgers. I've been making it every now and then. Well, it doesn't really require, but I prefer Applewood's smoked bacon. I was saying like a fourth pound of beef patty, egg on top, provolone or Gouda on a pretzel bun. Then you want to put the Applewood smoked bacon. Yeah, outside of that, I don't really eat like bacon like that.
Yeah, my bad, Jordan. Usually this is the channel about eating. So usually you're extra safe when eating on the channel. Yeah, that extra large sliced pepperoni. Have you had? So Marco's Pizza has this old world pepperoni, and I don't know what it is, but when they put this thing under the broiler, like it like curves up into a U shape, and the ends are like perfectly crispy. Whew. You talking about making it hard out here for pimp?
Actually, I got Marco's Pizza down the street from me too. I'm gonna have to try that.
They have a. I forgot Magnifico pizza. That's the old world and the new world pepperoni. Lord, I'm getting skinnier, but I'm telling you, if I had to be fat just to eat that pepperoni, I would gain back about 40 pounds because it'd be worth it. That pizza is, yeah, trying to mess with my life. What in the world? Okay, I was doing too much. The little thing was sliding up and down. I was trying to stop it. Pause, because I don't know how that came out. But I don't know how that came out. And before Reggie gets started, pause. I already beat y'all there. Because that just, yeah, it sounded risky. Yes, I said pizza. That old world pepperoni, changing lives. Look, we're not even going to mention nor talk about what could have been, what might have been. We are past that.
Don't worry about
The
it.
past is the past. Hold on, what is going on there?
Oh, wait, what? What? We trying? I'm confused.
Trying to keep them old pimps out of trouble. What's going on in your life? That's what we need to know, Jared.
I'm saying, where did that come from?
You know, one of these days I gotta make it down to Carolina so I could do a food review on the restaurant Weezy working.
Oh man, that'd be dope. I already know that's gonna get likes for real. I ain't even likes. Well, not even more than likes.
It's gonna get love.
Exactly. Recognition. Everything.
So other countries' governments. So I'm sure you didn't know, but in Gatorade, there was what do you call it? Brominated vegetable oil. Now, the only thing that this was used for, and mind you, is considered a carcinogen, which means that it's something that could cause harm, just like cigarettes. The only thing this was used for is, you remember that neon green colored Gatorade?
Yeah.
It was like
I know
Centron. It was in
this
Spanish name. It was like a Centron melon or something like that. So the neon colored Gatorades, this was made to give that neon appearance. Now, mind you, that this whole time that they were putting this in our Gatorade, this happened for about 7 or 8 years. It's the reason I stopped drinking Gatorade for a very long time. No other country would allow them to put this in their Gatorade. People put up petitions, and these petitions fell left and right. An 8-year-old girl put up this petition and got 200,000 signatures. Gatorade finally pulled this stuff out of the Gatorade. Now, mind you, they had a way to make the same color because they were doing it overseas, but it was cheaper to put it in our stuff because our government did not prevent them from doing this.
There we go.
And McDonald's around the world, this mystery meat that they serve in America, they can't serve that anywhere else.
Huh.
If you look at the lunches, there's a guy on YouTube, I forgot his name. He goes through 15 different countries' lunches, what they serve in a regular lunch on a regular day throughout the week. These kids are getting what we pay for in restaurants for school lunch. without all the extra antibiotics and stuff. I mean, one lunch, it was sliced chicken breast, like fresh made, like that rotisserie joint that you get out of Costco. They had the leaves on the side. They had the cherry, right? They had the cherry tomatoes. You know, they had the little biscuit on the side. It's like I'm looking at this food, and I'm like, bro, I could be doing a food review on what other countries' kids are eating at school for lunch.
That'd be dope.
Stuff that I'm paying $30 and $40 for. Well, this is other countries. Stuff I'm paying $30 and $40 at Olive Garden and Red Lobster for. This is what they get for lunch. Other countries take care and actually make proper food. Our kids are getting whatever they could get out of the blender. I mean, you know, Donald Trump, your president, decided on Michelle Obama's birthday to repeal the law that she had put in place to make schools start serving healthier lunches. That was the pettiness of all pettiness, but like we have to put laws in place to make places serve our kids healthier lunch. You realize that the Gerber company just got caught for having heavy metals in the baby food. That means all those kids that ate the baby food for like the last 3, 4, 5 months might have developmental issues. Your kids ain't safe. You're not safe. And our government does nothing about it. Other countries' governments, they go crazy. Government companies can do none of the stuff that they do there that they do in America. And I mean, that led right into it. We keep electing the same people. They keep lining their pockets. And our government doesn't do anything about anything. Right, Weezy. They have culinary departments. They have chefs making kids food in other countries. And we're paying for this stuff through our taxes. And we still ain't getting nothing. We're getting nothing out of the deal. We're just putting money in, and they're just trying to save money where they can so they can waste money where they won't. And you know, it's crazy and it's unfair. But I mean, your best bet, try and find whatever organic safe thing you can and send your kid to school with that, because nowadays most kids are paying for school lunch. So you're paying taxes to pay for the people, and you're paying taxes so they can get the stuff, and then you still got to come out of pocket after paying tax on the money that you made to pay for school lunch. I have to wonder, because I watched that video a couple times, because when I saw that video, I got ideas for what I wanted to make for dinner for the next 2 weeks. Like, this food looked good. Like, I wanted to go. I didn't have the proper ingredients in my kitchen to make these things. So I wanted to go out to eat. One of the days I did take the wife out to an Italian spot because, hell, I saw what the kids in Italy was getting. I wanted some too. I mean, I can't lie to you. I do want to put you on the spot. Are you a subscriber? When did you subscribe? Because I don't remember seeing you on a live before. Let's get down to the FDA. I wish I was rich. If I was rich enough, I'd probably pay the FDA to actually do their damn job. Because, I mean, they do their job when they want to. But something got to go. We got to make them do their job all the damn time. I mean, I know it's part of the whole, what do they call that? Depopulation agenda. But I mean, they got enough ways to depopulate the world. Like, at least our food could be good. That I mean, that's the bare minimum you could do. But we're a first world country, supposedly, but we got fifth world quality food. There's people in Madagascar eating nothing but leaves, and they're healthier than we are. I mean, that's the insanity part about it. There's tribes that are in certain sections of the world that we're really not allowed to go to because the amount of disease and what do you call it? Disease and sicknesses that we could.
She didn't make purple, but well, it'll do.
She made that Carolina blue. You see, I got my big boy cup. I don't got my husband mug. I got a mug just like this that says groom on the side, you know, the date that we got married.
Hey.
Like all that. Yeah, I got all that. But I mean, yeah, we would bring germs and bacteria just simply because those people are that much healthier than us because their food doesn't have all the crap in it that our food has. And a lot of it's stuff that's not even necessary. Like, did you know that they put what was it, formaldehyde in beer when they ship it when they ship it across the ocean?
Well, no, I'm not. Well, for me, I'm not really like an avid beer drinker, but that is interesting enough.
So if you drink import beer, there's formaldehyde, and that keeps the beer from going bad while it's shipped across the sea and is bouncing around. But they're not going to tell you that's what they put in it to keep it fresh for you. I mean, they probably
just like, hey man, just keep watching the Bud Light, Miller Lite commercials. Keep watching the triple hops or whatever they say now. I don't know.
Yeah, the hops and barley.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I mean, I'm pretty sure the American beers have something crazy in them also.
Oh yeah.
Appreciate you, Jordan. You know, you'll catch me fat boy frolicking more often than not around here. I am up to my best BS tonight. I don't want to cuss too much on YouTube. You know how they do.
Unless you curse, no money.
I mean, you know, I do my little thing in the club, but you know, we're just not gonna get into that much trouble tonight.
For this live.
I'm always in trouble. Live or not, I'm always in trouble. You can ask the wife. I'm always getting into or getting out of trouble, but getting back in is coming very soon. That's just life.
Right.
She has to do with me.
Must say some reason, somehow, some ways, it's the man's fault. But yeah, it is what it is.
Oh no, when it's my fault, I don't care. That's the best part. When it's my fault, I don't care. Now, when it's not my fault, that's when I care.
Right.
I'm not getting. I get enough trouble that I'm not getting blamed for what I didn't do. You can blame me for what I did do. We have no issues with that. But when I didn't do it, hold on, player. Hold on, player.
He said, "Oh, it's supposed to be an L." He said, "What's Heathy?"
Mike in Tampa trouble. Look.
No. It's gonna be a while before that happens. It's gonna be
No. I pleaded fifth. I don't even want to know. What's healthy? Not a goddamn lot. I would say what's healthier. You go to McDonald's and the salad should be healthier, but it's going to cost you
add an L to that.
So a lot of bars that are put together, like the granola bars and the Nature's Valley bars, there's an app called Fuducate.
Sometimes tell him, Hendo. I'm saying he needs to add an L to the thing.
Right. Oh yeah, I messed up. But it's called Fuducate. Fooducate. Fuducate. If you scan it, most of those Nature's Valley bars are actually held together by what are considered carcinogenic ingredients. So essentially, the ingredients that's in it is about equal to catching secondhand smoke from somebody smoking. That's what's holding together your granola bar.
Well,
So they made a granola bar that's healthy, and then they slapped some stuff on it to hold it together that's not healthy. So it's overall useless. And you know what?
I remember I was in Japan though. They had like something like not like a granola bar. I remember no comparison. Long story short, like their stuff was like naturally make me go to the bathroom like this like that. But over here, just like you get a granola bar, it's like no, their natural stuff. Well, they're natural, different from our natural.
Because those oats are high in fiber, but what they used to hold your granola
They
bar
actually
and your
do
chewy,
that.
and
They
your
actually
chewy
mean
bar
it.
together.
Like,
Right, and your chewy
like,
bar together now, that stuff is a carcinogenic, so your body can't even really truly process it. So yeah, that granola bar should be high in fiber, but what it's wrapped in, your stomach acid isn't even burning through to get the fiber.
Hmm.
The average, if you take a pill right now, it's 10-10. By 10:45, whatever your body has not absorbed, it will jettison that pill out and you'll be pooping it out next. So whatever your body did not absorb, those vitamins that are supposed to absorb, whatever it didn't get to, after about 35 minutes, your body's going to just pass it on to the intestines and you don't get the rest of it. So you take one of these big horse pills that's supposed to be your daily amount of vitamin C. A lot of times your daily vitamin C pill will be that big, but they give this big horse pill this big that's a bunch of fillers. So whatever your body doesn't process out of those fillers, you just don't get the actual vitamin C.
and you just waste money.
Right. Meat is carcinogenic. And even the vegetable stuff that they make, they're adding carcinogens to. What the heck? I know I corrected this banner. There we go. It says healthy. Now y'all get off my case. But I mean, so do you drink Pepsi?
I'm not really a soda drinker. Nah, not really. No.
Okay. You drink Aquafina?
No. For me, I can't
So-
stand the taste of Aquafina. I'm like, I haven't drunk Aquafina in years. I design too.
I don't really drink Aquafina either. But you want to know what's funny about Aquafina?
What up?
I believe actually, if I'm correct, it's Coke that makes Aquafina. Coke or Pepsi?
I want to say you're right. No, I think Coke. No, Coke got Dasani. So who got Aquafina?
Actually, it might be Dasani.
I'm saying I know Coke. Well, I used to work as a Coke merchandiser. I know we had a hell of a ton of Dasani in the back of some stores. So that's the only reason why.
Yeah, I am McDonald's. That's just McDonald's is trash. What's up? But McDonald's is just something I
It
eat when I'm
is.
starving. So Coke does.
That too.
So
Or when I'm broke.
you pay $2. What is it? $2 and some change for Dasani. You know they use that same exact water in Coke. So
I wouldn't put it
Coke
past them.
they use that same exact water to make their sodas, but the soda is cheaper than the water. Make it make sense. You had to add chemicals to the soda, but the water's more expensive.
Damn, it looks like that.
I'm talking all this shit because McDonald's shouldn't be as bad as it is if the FDA did their job. Okay, so Coke has Dasani.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the water costs $3, the soda costs $2.50. The water is the same thing that they use in the soda. So I'm getting a discount for them adding all the chemicals that makes it taste good.
Mm.
I get me a full $6 medium meal from McDonald's, but the salad costs $7. I got to buy the drink separate.
The McDonald's
Even if
started
you go
selling
in the
salads. I wouldn't eat it.
Even if you go in a store, you could buy 20 ounces of watermelon pre-cut up for $8. Two
That's
microwave
amazing.
meals is $4.50.
You don't get that giant knife and start slicing and dicing the actual, I said big watermelon, man. What's wrong with y'all?
Well, usually I take that because I'm just on like I'm grabbing something to go, like I'm on the move. If I got a whole watermelon, I would eat it all in one day. So it's not good. Trust me. That 20 ounces of watermelon that's pre-cut is going down that night. It's going down that night no matter which way you cut it. Even if I say I'm gonna just eat half now and eat half later. Like fresh fruit and vegetables, like I can't say no to. I just can't. It's just that if I went with just eating fresh fruits and vegetables, I'd be homeless broke. Because I never stop eating. I wouldn't. Just like it tastes too good. I couldn't stop eating.
I think like that's what I mean. Like when I the first day I buy like grapes, like including my kids, like we buy like well now my wife knows to buy 2 bags, but we go through like the first day. Oh, you know how the groceries and everything. But my kids automatically find the grapes. They go to a little corner or room and just go to work. I'm like that.
I actually have a zero water filter, and I specifically have that water filter because you can actually it comes with a tester that you can actually test if there's impurities in your water, and you can actually test also if your filter is not performing how it's supposed to be, so you know to replace it. And I've tried to trick it by putting it in different types of bottled water and then putting it in filter water, and like it actually does know if there's impurities or not. I don't know how, but I've tried. I'm an AV technician, so there's a way to figure out what does and doesn't work no matter what, and I haven't been able to find a way to trick it. I've even tried putting it in juice, and it pretty much figured out that I was fucking with it anyway. So that's
Man,
the
I'm
one
an
that
AI. You a human.
right. Like I put that tester and it was like, yeah, no. So yeah, worth the try. And hell, even the juices come back with impurities in them. So, oh yeah, I drink water all the time. Like me and water are best friends. I actually drink so much water that the reason I do drink juice is because if you drink so much water and dilute your system, I end up getting migraines if I don't add salt or some type of vitamins back to my diet.
You do need so
yeah. I didn't know that for the longest time. I just got more and more migraines. I'm like, bro, why do I have a migraine? I have to be hydrated. I was drinking water, but I also learned playing basketball one day that drinking water doesn't actually put back the vitamins and stuff that you need. So you have to like drink 20 ounces of water, then 20 ounces of Gatorade, and 20 ounces of water, 20 ounces of Gatorade. It's a whole science.
Yeah, pretty much bottom line, you need electrolytes.
Yeah, this is actually about 60% water, only about 30 or 40% juice. I can't drink fruit juice straight anymore because it's just too sweet because I'm so used to drinking water.
All right. Actually, for me, I had to cut back my sugar intake like that. It's actually like my first like Kool-Aid in like months.
Yeah, I learned that when you overhydrate, a lot of bodybuilders do that. They drink like 2 or 3 gallons a day, but they have to have higher salt content to balance it out. I never knew that was an issue. I used to always go for my DOT physical, and every time I take my P test, the lady would be like, "You need to hydrate more. You need to hydrate more." So I'm like, "All right, I'm gonna drink more water." So then I came back, and she was like, "How much water you been drinking?" I was like, "Probably around 150 ounces a day." But I was drinking other stuff too. So, but she was like, "Yeah, you might need to cut back on the water a little bit." I'm just looking at her like,
you can actually like I learned this about you can actually like drown your kid in the sense of drying your kidneys. It's weird.
I mean, if you drink a lot, you can like start to feel the amount of liquid in your stomach, and you know, okay, cool, I need to stop for like an hour or two. But from what I heard, your kidneys only process like 4 to 6 ounces an hour or something like that. That's what I heard. I ain't no medical specialist, but that's why I try not to eat too much watermelon also, because it's mostly water and it's also high in fiber. But since it's mostly water, I try not to eat too much. But I mean,
now good watermelon, you just can't help yourself if they right. It's a little bit sweet.
but it's
Not
got
really.
that clean taste. Man,
Am I going to South Carolina? Oh hell yeah!
look, you gotta see. My family's from Carolina, so when that yellow watermelon come through,
Mm.
man, boy, grab that like a football, hop in the car and go.
Like, bro, I remember when I was younger, but like when my aunt, okay, get that big knife, or she buy like 2 watermelons. And I already knew it. She get that little bacon, like a bacon sheet. You see that big knife, her go to work. What about 10 minutes later, they come and get it. Everybody,
Look, the wife gonna come to the family reunion this year. So when she get there, I'm gonna tell Uncle like, "Hey, Uncle, I need one of them yellow joints to go." Because actually, I'm gonna need 2 of them. I need both of them because I'm gonna eat 1.5, and I'm gonna leave her the half of the one that I didn't finish. Because if it's only one, it's just gonna be me. Yeah, too much water messes with a lot, and so I have this 64-ounce Yeti, and I have the the 1.5 gallon Crystal Geyser. I can go through that and another gallon of water in less than a 24-hour period. From the time I wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning until the time that I probably get home at about 6 to 8 o'clock, I have gone through that 1.5 gallon of Crystal Geyser. And that gallon of water, I'll go through that in the first hour or two of me being home. It's to the point I buy fruit juice just because I know I'll dilute it like 60%. So I bought this about an hour or so ago, and I've split this in water like 50% since I've been home for about 2 hours since I've been home. And if I wasn't on this live, I would have finished that and I'd be working on the second one. I buy that and the 1.5 gallon geyser. I buy those every day on the way home from work. Every single day. I have to. If not, I'll be in here like I'm dying of thirst. And it sounds terrible, but I'll be in here like, oh my God. Like the wife knows, oh, I'm stopping by the store. She's calling just to see what juice I want. She ain't calling to see if I need juice or I want juice. She's calling to see which I want. And she already knows, yeah, those 2 that she's bringing home, it's only making it through tonight. Tomorrow, it's going to be another story. So, last one for this block. Grow your own food. It sounds great. Depending on where you are, do you have the room for it?
Me no.
What is it? What is, even if you have the room for it, what is the smog levels where you are? Like the smog levels alone, even growing your own food, the smog levels alone is going to make it useless because they have to photosynthesize the light. They have to absorb some of what's going on, and then they also have to grow. It's gonna be like Homer with his tobacco tomatoes. I mean, am I wrong? That is what it's basically gonna be like. It's gonna whatever hits that soil is what it's gonna absorb. I'm near DC and I see people got their little gardens on the side of the thing. They got the little gardens, in the little in between the roads, and I'm like, it's in between the road, but it's depressed and there's a hill. Where do you think that rainwater's going? Straight to your food. All the chemicals that's coming off of the oil leaking out of engines, what do you call that? Coolant and whatnot. The tire, the rubber that the tire leaves on the road. Mm-hmm. And you think you're collecting rainwater. All you're collecting is grease, chemicals, and death. And I'm like, and y'all really plan on eating out of that garden? I might as well go to the store and take my chances there. At least I know no truck basically drove over the food while it was growing. I mean, even the farmer has his stuff that he uses to cultivate and chop everything, but that's one device. There's 1,000 cars going down this road probably damn near every hour, every 60 to 90 minutes, 1,000 cars going down this road. Some of them's leaking something. So when it rains, you collecting all of what they left on the road.
Mm-hmm.
On a motorcycle, and back to motorcycles, on a motorcycle, the first thing they tell you is the first 10 minutes it rains is the most dangerous because all the oil that vehicles have left on the road get pulled up to the top and it doesn't get washed away yet. So until the road is actually wet and you see water running, that's the most likely time you're going down. Because the oil rises to the top, but it hasn't been washed away yet.
Mm-hmm. Oh, is that why they said like when it first rains on the road, like to be careful because that's when it's like slickest?
Yep, because the oil gets pulled up out of the concrete because that oil rests in between like a little small areas and it dries up. But when it gets wet, it gets pulled out of that concrete. And when it gets pulled out of concrete, it's sitting on top. Now, when it actually gets wet enough that the water's running and it washes it away, then you're good. Because even with four wheels, if all you're running on is oil, you're short. It's just like snow. Yeah, you could ride through snow, but if all four of your tires lose traction, it don't matter if you got four-wheel drive. It's over. And yeah, there are gardens and urban farming. That's what I was saying. Like you would have to get a structure and you'd have to get some type of HEPA filters to help pull the toxins out of the air. That would be your best choice. It wouldn't work completely all the way, but it would be closer to what farming was back in the early 1900s. Yeah, I mean, it's unhealthy, but it's them trying to do the right thing, but them also not realizing, because people don't realize how, like, even in the city of DC or in the city of New York or California, there's so much
New York. Hell no.
There's so much pollution in the air that even when the rain just comes down, the rain is bringing down pollution on its own. Mm-hmm. So even if you're using the barrel technique, you need a filtration system in that barrel technique. You can't just say, I'm gonna put a barrel outside, it's gonna be fine. That barrel is pulling down the air pollutants. That water is pulling down the air pollutants at the same time that it's dropping. So you need to filter it some way. I mean, if you have enough barrels, if you leave it for a couple of days, maybe that might do something. I'm not sure, but I mean, quite honestly, you definitely need a filtering system. That would be your best bet. And the best bet would be a slow filtering system, because the more you can slow down the water as it filters, the more time that, things have to correct it. Like tequila, I don't know how we got to alcohol, but like tequila is supposed to be, I think it's poured over limes, I believe. It's either tequila or vodka, whatever Puff Daddy makes with Ciroc. Right. It's supposed to be filtered through limes or something like that slowly, because for some reason that removes more impurities. XYZ, yada, yada. So you want a slow filtration system. Yeah, those factors are all a must, but a lot of people who start to grow their own food, they look up just the growing of the food, but they don't actually look up these factors that you mentioned here as for how to make sure the food will be at its best, it'll be best protected. So Weezy, what you got growing in your garden right now? Tomatoes, lettuce, kiwi? Because you down in that warm region, you could grow stuff that I can't even consider at this point, being that it's about to be winter. While we wait on D Weezy's ingredient list. So
yeah, D Weezy, tell us how you make those biscuits, man.
Right. Well, them biscuits look like it's busting. I'm about to say, hey, y'all got any y'all got any trips down south that I could take. I could walk down there. I mean, shoot. You ain't even got people to transportation. Just let me get down there. Tomatoes, cucumber, corn, pepper, squash. Have you heard of Pepper X? So this is another Fat Boy Presents. So the guy who made the Carolina Reaper pepper has now made a pepper that is blended with the Carolina Reaper pepper. Do you want to know what this pepper measures in a Scoville unit? Mind you, the Carolina Reaper measures at like 1.6.
Around 9 billion. It's not 9 billion, 9 million.
The Reaper pepper is around 1.6 Scoville units. So the Pepper X is supposed to be is supposed to be 2.6 million Scoville units. So
trying to kill people. Like he just trying to create what his own form of mustard or pepper gas, pepper spray.
Pretty much. But it's the same guy who made the Carolina Reaper. Pepper X has the highest at 2.69, which the Carolina Reaper averages 1.64 million Scoville heat units. So it's basically, 2.6 versus 1.4. So it's what, 2.1, 2.2 times the amount. Woo! Now, I like these spicy peppers, but I just use a tiny bit in a recipe.
Yeah, for flavor, not just to be like, oh man, let me just do it. I already know some people are gonna probably do like a challenge and end up dying.
Somebody's probably already doing a challenge, with or without.
There's a challenge for everything now.
With or without sanity, they're just doing challenges.
Like I still remember, like I know it's not pepper related, but like the cinnamon challenge back when I was growing up, people were dying off of that. I'm looking like, bro, like your throat is clogged. Think about this.
I'm about to say, don't say swallow, because I'm gonna say pause.
I caught myself. I was like, hold up.
You almost got in that territory.
Don't cook with that respirator and industrial. Okay.
So now we're gonna get heavy with it. You ready? I ain't hear you say you ready.
I don't know what you're talking about. This your show.
we going to the dark side. We're going to talk about everybody runs from.
Well, I can't say for me. I can't say run from it. For me, my life lessons have taught me like death is supposed to be celebrated. I know there's funeral people crying or whatever, but for me, I'm celebrating like the person's like memory. I'm celebrating the person's like journey to all their life. Their life, like without this person, this generation wouldn't happen. This generation wouldn't happen. And definitely, this generation would have happened without that person's sacrifices.
Yeah, for me, I've had an acute fascination with the elements of death, like what really happens. How do people continue on? Like, I always wondered, like, is there a point where you say you ran or you survived? Running and surviving are two different points. Some people will say, oh, that could be dangerous, and they just won't do anything that could even, if they think that there's a remote chance that it could be dangerous enough that they could die, they won't do it. Like, I mean, even if it's like, oh, if you run too fast and scream at the same time, you could die. They just won't do it. If you hold in a sneeze, you can have an aneurysm and die. Like, they wouldn't hold in the sneeze, just because of that, not because of actually, whatever else. Just I could die if I hold in a sneeze. I gotta let it out. But for me, it's like, do you know that you're dead? Like, could it be one of the things where after you die, you kind of watch things continue as if you were still there? Things like that. Like, instead of, we may know that you're gone, but you may be kind of in a system where you're like, okay, this is what would happen if, life had continued for you. You see what happens if you were there longer to raise your kids or whatever, stuff like that. Or is it just the darkness? Do you go to heaven? Do you basically get reset like the Disney movie where, people die, they go through and then they get their new body and they live another life, things like that. We don't actually, right. We don't actually know what really does happen. But I mean, people are just, people do a lot of stuff to not die. It's so much stuff that is done. Oh, if I do this, I'll extend my life, or, now wanting to be healthy and live longer. Sure. But isn't there that 50-year-old guy who got like all those surgeries to like make his heart younger and all types of stuff like he spent like $5 or $6 million on random surgeries and methods to try and maintain his youth, not even looks wise, but to try and keep his body younger, some wild stuff like that. And I was just like, wow.
And for me, as far as that nonsense, or I don't know. Like as I said, get older, like I'm looking like forward, towards the me getting older, seeing how his generation or my older generations, how that plays out, or how I put a stamp on it, how like my elders put a stamp on mine. Definitely, I want to play I want to play my part. Like I want to be like given now turns to like instead of physical like basketball or whatever, just like sit back and give wisdom. Like I don't take it as like oh man, like I'm this this close to death. I'm like like our time, like each one of us that has our expiration date. It's gonna happen. So for me, it just depends how you look at it.
Yeah, for me,
that's sir.
For me and death, I have no fears about death. I have no qualms with death. You have to understand that death has the part of life. If you don't have death, life doesn't mean anything. Like it literally does not mean anything. If we were never going to die, you could just go through just doing dumb stuff.
There would be mass chaos over here.
Right, for 50, 80, 90 years, and then all of a sudden decide, you know what, let me get my stuff together. Let me do what I'm supposed to do. Like the fact that there is death. Go ahead.
I'm saying like people be jumping up, will be probably jumping up the Empire State Building just for the hell of it. Like, I'll be all right. Or people will be like skating down Grand Canyon just for the hell of it if there wasn't death. You know what I'm saying?
Right. It's going to hurt for a few years, but I'll heal.
Right.
But like me, like the fact that there is death gives me more incentive to do what I need or what I want to do. It makes life better that there is an actual end. Something will eventually happen where I can't just be like, okay, I got another day to do this. It gives life more value and more meaning that it's not just endless. That it's not just like, hey, as long as I don't get shot or I don't get hurt to a certain level, I can just keep living on. Because then people would just literally, their house would be their bubble, and they would just be 150 years old. How'd you make it this long? Well, the building hasn't collapsed, and I haven't left the house.
Yeah, there are people like that, sadly though. But mentally, like you can't blame them, or do something like traumatic, like to that point, to where like they won't step outside. Like I forgot, I don't know why we're talking about this. I'm thinking about like numerous Family Guy episodes. Especially with the one where Death broke had twisted his ankle and he was out for a little bit. Everybody was going wild, and then the time where Brian took care of that old woman named Pearl that who left didn't leave her house for like 30 years.
Yeah, like my only obligation, and literally my only obligation, and my mom will hate this. She would hate it so much. My only obligation is to make sure that she doesn't have to bury me.
I see that.
This is my only obligation. Outside of that, there's no holds barred. She already knows I'm the most antisocial. Yeah, I'll give her that. But I'm probably the craziest, and I probably am the most dangerous out of her 3 kids.
That belongs
So-
to my second, no, youngest brother. That's the number. How can I say this? I'm the oldest. The next oldest out. Yeah, I think the next oldest. Cool. I'm a 1 out of 5. So yeah, definitely. Yeah, he's
The
definitely
second
more.
oldest
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm thinking like, what's the proper term for it?
goes to the second oldest.
All right. For me, I'm more calculated and stuff before I try to do something and for me, I still want to go like skydiving or stuff like that. Like I've been like snowboarding I've been like snowboarding down huge Alps and stuff. And I enjoyed it. But yeah, skydiving is definitely on my list. I just want to do it. Like, for me, like I love like roller coasters and stuff. Like I love riding roller coasters and stuff. So like heights to me, not really.
I don't know if we really, I feel like we kind of covered it, but why do you think people are so afraid? Is it selfishness? Is it wanting to be around for family? Is it fear of missing out on what could be?
Yeah, fear of missing out, or like oh man, I haven't like done, like you said earlier, I haven't done what I need to do yet. There's so many things I haven't said, to this one person that how I really feel. Just pretty much for me, in my opinion, just missing out. Like,
Andre 3000 said it himself. He literally said, "Everybody wants to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die."
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's terrified of dying, but they're talking about when I die, I want to go to heaven. Okay, that's cool, but you can still live your life until you get there. Because, like I said, the FDA don't really look out for us as far as keeping us making stuff healthier. But I ride a motorcycle. So somebody saying, "Oh, McDonald's isn't healthy." Man, I can come off the beltway and a tractor trailer lose control, and it ain't gonna matter how healthy I am. It's gonna be over.
Right.
That can be the same thing.
Speaking that this morning. Speaking of this morning, besides that, I forgot to tell you that I got involved into another crash because I don't know if there was like a bear or a huge ass dog. I couldn't get a picture of it, but it was like an animal. Just say that there's an animal. I guess like 2 cars had hit, and the 2 cars total. Like the 2 cars were like done, and there's like paramedics were on their way. I'm saying like, yo, you just like never know. Like, might as well just like live it up now, because like something like that doesn't really happen. I guess in the bigger cities, like if you're in the country, you all heard about deer jumping out, cars hitting deers, and then deers getting up, walking off while the car is total or whatever, and the person sadly that passes away. So, but yeah, that happened to me. Almost happened to me this morning. Thankfully, I sorted that out. And then that part about the motorcycle slamming their brakes, that happened second. So I'm thinking like, man, what's going on, bro? Dude, I'm looking around like, yo, what y'all
so they was just trying you today.
Real.
If a motorcycle would have hit that bear, the motorcyclist would have been done. Like, you have the
cars like
gear. If you have the quality safety gear, yeah, you could survive. As long as you land, you don't land on your neck or anything. But yeah, if you don't have full safety gear and you hit a bear, like it's over. You're just flying. It's gonna look like the game Road Rash, like literally.
Oh Lord. Yeah, but thankfully, I think the car, like one was like a F-150, the other one was like a mini van. So Man, I ain't see any like bodies like laid around anywhere. I just saw like maybe one or two. Like one woman was on the phone, and another one dude was on the side of the road with his like head down. I'm going to assume he has a concussion or brain trauma, but yeah, that's about
You
it.
could have whiplash also.
That too.
So, well, based on what you just said, why are you not afraid of death?
I don't know. It just never like I know like it's gonna happen. You know, my mom, well, not my mom, well, not just my mom, but the people that raised me just made it to my head that it's gonna happen one day. So just do, you know, again, like you said, live life, you know, accomplish what you want to accomplish, and do what you can to help the next generation. And that's what I'm planning on doing. Like I know time to go is gonna be I don't know what my time to go is, but I want to leave my mark. And I'm not talking about leaving like a lasting, you know, like a Hall of Fame legacy that I know that can happen to like the 0.1% of humans, but like, you know, just like long enough to where pretty much like, yo, like, 'cause I know for me, I won't forget my, you know, my contribution that my grandfather have done. Like, I think like his accomplishments or whatever, what he's done for our family is like it's forever burned into my brain. You know, and that's how I want to be, you know, to my kids, to my hopefully, you know, my, you know, when they're old enough, my grandkids, and then if I'm lucky to see you, my great grandkids, you know.
Okay, so you don't want to just live; you want to exist.
Yeah, like not for others, but yeah, at least for my family.
Yeah, I'm more of a quiet guy, so living is perfectly fine with me. Now,
Right. Like I
if I
never
have
really
kids,
been one to like live above my means. So
well, some people live like I live the life. You know, the people who knew me, you know, knew well. When you exist, and 4 generations, your great grandkids will still say, hey, you know, my great grandfather. You know, me, I just want to live. Like if my kids make a mark in the world, cool. Yeah, I'm perfectly fine with not being them. I'm perfectly fine with that. But that's just, you know, my standard. I mean, it's sometimes where I'm in public and if I see somebody who needs help, I'll just try to help them and kind of get out of there. Like, you know, it's not that I don't want to help them. It's just like I don't even want to be thanked. I just want to help you because you need the help. And I just kind of want to slide off somewhere unknown, unbeknownst to the crowd. But me and death, I don't have any natural fears. My mom always told me I should have at least one. She called it a healthy fear. So I chose heights. But I mean, eventually I was like, I'm not really scared of this crap. And it ain't really doing anything for me. So to hell with it. And I kind of just let that slide into the background. But yeah, fears, I don't know. I don't naturally have fears. Like we realized, even the children in our family, when they fall, they don't know that they're supposed to be hurt until they see you react to them falling. They fall and they look at you for what's next. If you smile and laugh and say, "Oh, get up," you know this and the third, they smile and laugh too. My family's never instilled any type of, oh, you should worry about this, or you should be scared of that. The only fear I ever had is my grandfather's belt. And guess what? When that stopped, when that stopped, you couldn't tell me nothing, Sean. Oh, you said you're gonna do what? Nah, that belt that I used to get back in the day, that was work. You gonna get your ass beat. You come around me. That's how that went. So if you came up to me, you want to start a fight, you was getting your ass beat because that belt back home was the only man I feared, and that man was 5'6" while I was 5'11". But I tell you what, if he talked, I listened because that belt was legendary, and I wasn't intent on ever catching that again.
All right. Yeah, same for my grandfather. I mean, he didn't really give me beatings, but I seen whippings being handed out. I'm talking about like the triple braided belt wrapped around the hands, that type of
Nah, it only took
stuff
me
going
about
on.
three. It only took me about 3-4 of them, and I was good. I
I think I
had
only
no
got
more
like
problem.
maybe one time, like if that. Um,
Well,
but one thing he despised, and he gonna catch it like instantly. It was like sagging in his house. He hated that. Still does to this day, actually. He hated sagging.
so let's talk about the craziest part of death. You want to go first? Why do people grieve so hard when somebody dies?
I'm gonna try to answer this the best way I can because, like I said, I don't really grieve or celebrate. But my opinion, maybe
Well, not us per se, but why do people as a race?
people. Okay, gotcha.
As
I guess,
humans, sorry, humans aren't considered a race, but as humans, why do we grieve so hard?
yeah, I guess because they know that that person is not gonna be there. No, to pick up the phone, to text back anymore, to then not go out and do whatever anymore. So I just want to say you're sad because of the times you're not gonna have anymore. So you know, for me, that gets in the way of celebrating the life that they did live. And what you could do by honoring them. So, or on other side, again, like I said earlier, the stuff that you did say or do with or to that person.
So, I mean, to me, and I've always felt this way, and I know people are like, "Oh, you're such an asshole for thinking this way." Man, stop being so goddamn selfish. That's all that is. I mean, yeah, I grieve, and even I know I'm an asshole for grieving. These people have lived their life to the best of their ability, and even though it could have been a violent ending, it could have been a criminal ending, something that somebody criminally brought. Somebody could have killed them or crashed into the car, and basically that person's drunk driver selfishly may have taken them. If you believe in this almighty God being, I believe there could be a God, there could be gods. I don't subscribe to religion. I'm more spiritual. Do the right thing at the right time as often as you can. Nobody's perfect. I just try to always do the best thing that I can as much as possible. I'm human. I fuck up. Sometimes it's not even fucking up. Sometimes I'm just doing asshole things. That's just how humans are. We have our "this is for me" moment. Every human has it. But when somebody dies, I feel terrible and I feel bad. And then I have to remind myself that if I believe that this person is going on to a better place, why am I upset that they're gone? The only reason I'm upset is because I'm being selfish. I'm going to miss this person being here for me and for my comfortability and for really myself or for what they might have meant to somebody else. But at the end of the day, it's still complete selfishness. You believe somebody's going to a better place, but you don't want them to go. That's like you believe this person could become a millionaire, but you do something to stop them from becoming a millionaire because you feel like if they get rich, they're going to move away and you won't have the same friendship. It is almost literally the same thing. You can't be upset that somebody's going to heaven. You're only upset that they won't be where you want them to be, where you need them to be. I mean, if they're going to heaven or if they're watching things continue on in life, I want them to see me doing the best thing that I can do. That's all I want them to see. The best thing I can do. I don't want them looking down and like, damn, like he's really missing me. I don't want you to feel bad that you're in heaven. Like that, it to me, it just really all seems like people in their own selfishness is why they grieve as hard as they do. And yeah, it does suck losing somebody. But people don't live forever. You just got to make the best of what time you have when you have it. And I'm terribly guilty of that because I don't like to bother people. So my mom texts me every morning. And if she didn't, I probably wouldn't text her every day. I just don't like to bother people. Sometimes I text people, and after about 4 or 5 texts, I try to leave them alone because I don't want to bother their whole entire day. I know they got stuff to do. So a lot of times if people don't reach out to me, a lot of times I don't reach out. I might think about you, and I'm like, damn, I hope Jay's doing good today. Hope everything's going well for him. But I won't always text because Jay has stuff to do. Jay has brothers and sisters. He has a wife. He has kids. He may not have a time, but I will text every once in a while. Say, hey, just checking on you. Hope everything's well. Just to make sure that you're in a decent space. I mean, I'll start this one. Like I said earlier, I think it's either you meet God or the gods that, it could be one, it could be multiple. And, like people say, you may recount your life. You may see certain things in life. You may basically get an understanding of what life was about, or maybe you kind of have your theater moment where, kind of like the Matrix, where the thing's hooked into you and you pretty much get to see what would happen if your life continued until you were XYZ age, or you may get it, based on what you did or didn't do, you may come back as an animal, or you may come back as a human in a different situation based on what good or bad deeds that you did. So, okay, well, you look down on these types of people. Now, this life, you're going to be that type of person, and we're going to see how you perform. You may be a rich person in this life, and these poor people, this, that, and a third, and you're now going to live life as a poor person. And at the end of that life, to say, hey, this was your life before. This was the life that we gave you, because your life before, these are the people that you hated. And you may not know this until you go back to meet God or gods and review your life and find out why you led the life you led. Don't worry, I think about death a lot. So, yeah.
It's natural. Nothing wrong with it. Like I said, I often think about, like say, if heaven, like I say, if heaven or hell exists, or is how if afterlife is what we make it, or or if whatever evil is what we make it, because you reading all the time. The Egyptians believed in the afterlife. Believe that, hey man, what you bury you with your belongings, so you can have it in the afterlife. So people believe in reincarnation. You know what I'm saying? Again, heaven or hell. So
you know what they say? Curiosity.
There's a whole bunch of stuff. Right, there's a whole bunch of stuff that got on this. I mean, what I'm saying? We believe, burying, having funerals, making sure the dead bodies all, if you choose to, or if you don't choose to cremate, dead bodies all, looking good, pursed up, bury them 6-7 feet into the ground. The Egyptian believed in taking your brains, your eyes, what was left, putting them into a jar and mummify you. Then, doing that whole process. Again, other cultures believe in burning your body. Burning your body. That's like a whole form of cremation. But burn your body, put it on a sack of wood or papyri. Am I saying that right? Yeah. And just watch you burn and then celebrate, afterwards. So there's different stuff. So, or Norse mythology.
Did you see the Egyptian queen's tomb that they uncovered that had 5,000-year-old jars of wine?
I saw that, and I'm thinking y'all need to leave that stuff alone. One of these,
right?
For me, I'm a person that believes in spirits. I don't believe we're just here on Earth just kicking it. No, I'm saying, by ourselves.
Right, y'all keep on pulling out these tombs. Why are you even? If a graveyard is sacred, why is the Egyptian tomb not sacred?
Right, y'all go mess with the wrong tomb, and then there's something that we can't reverse.
Right. It's just like they go to the polar ice caps and start drilling. And I wonder what microbes of germs that we could find that's in the polar ice caps. I don't know. Some stuff that you don't have medicine for. I
Right.
mean, you're lucky it froze there in the first damn place. Why are you trying to uncover it?
Or how people are trying to bring back I'm saying bring back mammoths. Reason why they're extinct. Woolly mammoths.
You
Huge
bring them,
tusks.
you bring them back. What are you going to do when they start running wild? I know it sounds
Right,
like
it's
Hulk
gonna mess up
Hogan.
the food.
You gonna
It's
leave-
mess up the food chain too.
Anybody in the chat or watching, feel free to bring up random subjects because I mean, we've gotten to the end, but hey, you got a subject? We got time. I mean,
People
you could
start to
you could
clone like
you
clone
could train
stuff.
them. You could train them
who?
about as good as you could train a damn lion. Train
Train
a woolly
who?
mammoth. Train a woolly mammoth. You could train it about as good as you train a lion. Shit, you could train them if you want to. That's just like Jurassic Park. They thought they could train the raptors. Yeah, Then they made a bigger raptor by accident, and then all of a sudden they didn't know what to do.
Or how like a company. I don't know if y'all ever watched this video or heard of this. Long story short, lady a lady brought her pet monkey over, or a lady put monkey over to her friend's house. Long story short, this 200 pound, I want to say it was an orangutan. Now y'all know primates are stronger than us by miles. Without even lifting weight, they're just naturally strong. And they thought it was a good idea to keep it to like right. And they thought it was a good idea to keep it to was like somewhat fully grown. And I think like just one day snap and just started to well, first of all, the chimpanzee or the orangutan pulled like the ate the woman's face, pulled off the limbs and whatever. And then you hear the woman on the phone on the distress call saying, like, "Oh my God, there's a chimpanzee here. I need to must see the police. Come here, shoot it." I'm looking like, yo, why is this thing outside of its natural habitat in the first place?
People.
And I'm saying like, you think I'm not saying that we can't, but I'm saying, I'm saying woolly mammoths is a whole different thing. Woolly mammoths are upper echelon of the of elephants. You know what I'm saying? We think elephants are big. Hell no.
Right. That's like I think some scientists like, yeah, if we could bring back the megalodon, the what?
Why are we doing
The
that?
50-foot shark? Do you realize that cruise liners are at risk? A 50+ foot shark?
The entire U.S. Navy will be at risk.
Bruh, like, do you realize a 50-foot shark would eat half of a gray whale for like lunch? Because the bigger those sharks get, the more often they have to feed. There's going to be a lot of things going extinct. Because if you think about 500 of them, just 500 in the ocean, gray whales are almost extinct. Baleen whales are going through it too. Like there's a lot of whales that would just, it'd be a wrap. The whale shark, they're not that fast. Like a megalodon is a giant great white shark.
The whale sharks are harmless as hell, though. But yeah,
They're harmless, but I'm saying a megalodon would just be like dinner, and he can't even swim fast. Bet
Right.
you go out on a 20-foot yacht, and that joint would just knock the yacht over, like it was nothing. A 52-foot shark, you would have to have at least an 80-foot boat just to even feel safe. You imagine going out, what do they call it? Going out on a Carolina skiff boat. He could eat the whole boat in one bite, you included. Nah, y'all don't.
I don't think us as humans will be satisfied until like the stuff that we say like that we see as like science fiction comes to life. Because I promise you, like and we talked about this in Discord, heavily. Like yeah, people ain't gonna be satisfied till like the stuff that we see like on like iRobot, stuff like come to life, and then like the robot, even the AIs are starting to be like more heavy now, like more heavier now than it was in the past. But like like we have genre, we have literally movies like the Terminator. You got to watch Black Mirror, that one episode where the robots took over. Like
Yeah, I saw that on Netflix.
people have told you what will happen if you keep on messing with artificial intelligence.
Have told you. Did you not hear about the plant in Japan that was building the AI robots, and one of the motherfuckers went online and literally started killing people, and they damaged it while trying to take down the other one that went crazy, and they caught the one that they damaged downloading schematics on how to repair itself. It literally was like, damn, I messed up. Oh, my bad. Let me hack into the satellite so I could download the schematics on how to fix myself so I could go kill some more of these humans. Like on its own, they thought he was down. They caught him downloading how to repair himself.
Like I'm just thinking, I was like, why are we doing this? Like, why are we messing with? I understand technology is supposed to advance, yada yada, but there has to be a pause or breaking point,
I mean, there's some scientists who are like, there's scientists who are like, AI has gone as far as it needs to go, and we do not need to advance it anymore because look, Elon Musk is an unstable somebody. And even he said, we need to slow this down because this train's going too fast.
We're going to die.
And it's going to be a wrap.
If they get smart enough to the point, I know a lot of shows, movies have said this. If AI gets to the point to where it figures out like humans are the problem, we're done. They're going
to realize the biggest problem to Earth is humans. If we get rid of the humans, then Earth can go on for who knows how long. And then they're going to start building more. The aliens going to come back and be like, yeah, where's those humans that we made? Hey, what the hell is this going on?
Right. Like prime example, like when COVID happened, everybody was supposed to be inside. Look how much vegetation grew around the world. Hell, I think that somewhere, I forgot what country was it, but an animal that we thought was extinct came out of hiding because, you know what I'm saying? Like no cars, no poachers or whatever to harm it. Yeah, like Earth came back. So I'm thinking I'm sitting there in my house thinking thinking the exact same thing I'm saying now. Like if we weren't here, Earth would be nice.
So I was reading earlier. There's a specific lizard that lives in like the Candor Mountains or something like that, 2 or 3 feet, 100 feet up elevation. Now they're like a white and black stripe, so like almost that natural marbling that rocks have, and like limestone rocks and stuff like that. They blend in so perfectly that somebody made a zip line going across the little mountain thing, and they were actually like bird watching. And the zip line goes over these rocks, and literally these lizards only stick to where these rocks are. That's why even when they were going to go look at it before, they were doing expeditions before, they didn't see these lizards because they do not come out of this rock formation. Wherever this rock formation is, that's literally the only place they stay. And the zip line was going over, and the guy was looking through the binoculars and was like, hold on, I've never seen that lizard before. It's a whole new species of lizard that nobody had ever seen because they literally only stay in this rock formation on the side of this mountain, 200 or 300 feet above ground level.
So thankfully,
and they only see it
period of time like air starts to thin out and you can't breathe. So.
Right, but they only seen it because humans decided to make a zip line going across the side of the mountain.
Like, and I get it for discoveries, like for new discoveries and stuff. We have people like that, but I believe there's just some stuff that just we don't need to unearth.
Right, at least
that man shouldn't touch.
Yeah, leave some things alone.
Right, like I'm really like what you talked about death earlier, or what we were afraid of. My second thing that I'm afraid of is we're gonna go too far. We're somehow gonna figure out, hopefully not in my lifetime, but we're gonna somehow humans will somehow figure out how to go down to beneath like the unexplored parts of the ocean, and they're gonna uncover something that they wish they would have left alone. Like they're gonna figure out somehow to stand let's say the pressure on human skulls, bypass all that somehow, and just uncover something that shouldn't have never been messed with.
That's the whole like premise behind the Meg, the Jason Statham movie, is that they pass through the zone because it's supposed to be a zone of water where it's like superheated that actually separates the deep part of the ocean and the part of the ocean that we know about. And when they disturb this amount of heat, they leave a hole in it big enough that the megalodons who were trapped down there can now come to the surface. And that's how the premise of the whole Meg got up in the first place. And in the Meg 2, the same thing happens. Some scientist goes down there, his space station, whatever, explodes, and now 3 megalodons and a giant octopus get out, and they're just wreaking havoc. But it is actually a scientific thing where there's a point where it's basically like a pressure point, and it's also like a super hot layer that's between 2 points of the water that pretty much you would need some type of sub to actually get through, but a normal mammal or being would pretty much burn the fuck up. But humans leaving a big enough hole for an animal or something to get out, I don't know how true that is, but some scientific shit that I don't understand. Keep it 100.
Like just like sorry to bring it up like that I forgot what the company, but those Titanic like submarines, they thought they could go down there. Like I'm thinking, I already knew. First of all, if the Navy hasn't gone that far, why are you?
Well, the people had gone down there had gone down there to see the Titanic wreckage, but this company they consider themselves a cutting edge progressive company, so they were doing stuff in a way that they thought would work. There's tours that have gone down to the Titanic and like actually toured it and whatnot, but they were in the proper type of sub.
Right.
These people apparently, from what I read, disclaimer, from what I read, the control device was made by Logitech. It wasn't like no special type of sub stuff. They were controlling this thing with some type of Logitech controller, and it's supposed to be a sub. And what they made the sub out of wasn't the proper stuff. Like the sub, basically, the pressure made the sub implode. So the whole time that they were saying that they were trying to organize a rescue mission, the U.S. government already knew that the sub had imploded.
Right, the U.S. Navy already caught on their sonar that they did that.
Yeah, they basically what they were trying to buck the system and make money, and so they already knew the sub had imploded, and all they were doing was retrieving bodies. But they made it seem like it was a search and rescue mission so that people would have hope for some reason. But they heard on the sonar, they heard it implode. They knew it was a wrap. Your body couldn't float back up to the surface fast enough for you to get air to breathe. Like they knew it was over.
Mm-hmm. I'm sad for all the families and stuff, but at the same time, like that was just a dummy mission. Not smart at all.
That's one of those times where, as a person, you're paying to go do something with the impression that because it was a legit company, but the people who were running it roughshod. So they were paying money to a legit company. And the company had done, apparently, from what I read, they had done this before, but that might have been luck. Like a lot of people who study the ocean told them, "Hey, you need to do this. These are your minimums that you need to have," and they just felt like they didn't need to have those minimums. And they took these people's money, and these people believed that these people knew what they were doing because this is what their company was based on doing, and nothing bad had happened yet. So you're under the impression that these people know what they're doing. So you're paying. People are like, oh yeah, these idiots paid this company this much money. No, they paid a company that hadn't had any disasters to take them down there to see what they wanted to see. Now,
what point, I'm saying, what point as a human where your sixth sense, I don't know if everybody got it, but where your sixth sense or your conscience or your intuition just it started to sound like a megaphone in your head, like, hey, I really don't feel like we should be doing this. Hey, back out. I don't feel like, hey.
Unfortunately, it's the belief in people. They believed in those people. They believed in that company. Like I said, that company hadn't had any accidents. So they probably looked at their record, was like, well, they've done this a couple times before. There wasn't any accidents, and they just believed that as a professional, if you feel like something's wrong, you would abort the mission. And unfortunately, they trusted the wrong people. That's the only thing you can say is they trusted the wrong people. It's like you buy a Chevy and it doesn't work out. You don't buy a Chevy again, or you buy a better Chevy. But at the end of the day, you bought something because that company is known for making that product and their track record was good enough up to that point. There was a lot of money involved, but their track record to that point didn't have any flaws in it. So they said, okay, well, they've done this a couple of times. There's no problems that's happened. So, and they've been open for a certain amount of time. Just trusted the wrong company.
Yeah, man.
You know, money don't make you psychic. I wish it did, because if it did, then boy, you know how much money people would save? Everybody be rich. Hey, I can't buy no damn Snickers bar. I'm trying to get that 500K so I can be psychic, and you know we could really get up there.
Right.
It just be like that sometimes. Hey, I've trusted some. Well, we've all trusted Toyota. Their gas pedals got stuck.
Where people trust the Tesla, the self-driving, and then like next thing you know,
Ended up in a tree. You know, Volvo had a self-driving thing on that they I don't know if they ever came out. They were coming out with, and to get the sensor to sense humans, you had to pay like an extra $6,000.
What?
Yeah, Volvo had a self-driving system, and you had to pay the $6,000 upgrade for it to basically detect humans. So yeah, there's a lot of trustable, quote unquote, trustable companies that we have trusted that have tried to come out with some things that just didn't make any sense, and luckily they reconsidered and realized that if we charge people upcharge so that their self-driving vehicle can detect if a human is walking behind it or in front of it, it's going to cost money. Hell, Tesla had a thing where their camera, where for some reason the Tesla didn't recognize I think it was a certain color of gray, or it was a certain color of gray or blue. So Tesla had to go back and rewire or reprogram the system to recognize this color, because I think the car actually hit or caused an accident because it didn't recognize the color. Like it was completely colorblind to this color for some reason. So, I mean, wilder things have happened. And yeah, like DeWeezy said, those owners were true adventurers in their words. So they didn't listen to anybody who was actually a professional at going that deep in a device.
I've never not listened to like a professional just saying, like, especially like when I guess when I start when I do go skydiving, and I guess the dude say, or if they still do it, like, hey, you need to be, I don't know if they still do it, you need to be strapped to a person who's done this before. I'm like, yep.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, who's the oldest person you got? Who's been doing this longest? I'm going with you. Yep.
Right. But also some people, I mean, when you're doing stuff like that, you don't know what's not safe and what's not normal if it's your first time. So if you strap to this guy and he does something that isn't right, as the person who's not a professional or the person who's never done it, you would never know. Like you'd be clueless that, hey, hold on. It's not like you're like, hold on. Why don't you have that third strap that he has? Oh, don't worry about that. That's just a small parachute, but the big one always opens. Bruh, you could have told me that before we jumped.
I've seen so many times. Well, I've seen so many times where the parachute, the big parachute, I would say they were going so fast and they opened it at the wrong time to where the force of the wind like cut a hole into the parachute and they were screwed.
Right. And like I said, if you jumping with a guy and you don't know why he doesn't have a third strap until he jumps and he says, oh yeah, that's a small parachute. We don't need it. You'd be like, wait, what? So like those people didn't know these guys are controlling this stuff with the Logitech controller instead of purchasing the Microsoft controller. You get down there and stuff starts going wrong and you're like, oh, is that normal? And the guy who's running the joint says, oh yeah, that's normal. It happens all the time. We'll be fine. All you can go do is kind of say, oh, okay. And then you get a creaking too much and you're like, reverse, no, we need to get out of here. By then, whoever's running the sub might be like, no, we're fine and keep going. Like, what are you going to do? Start a mutiny? Then you really have a problem.
Hearing that shit disconnect, bro. First of all, Logitech, why would you would trust something you can find at Walmart for $20? That's my thing.
Not $20, Brad. Come on, Logitech at least costs a good $50.
Okay.
I mean, Logitech is not expensive, but it ain't that damn bad.
That's what I'm saying. I'm thinking about I said. I was like, okay.
Look, I ain't said it was great either. I don't know.
Yeah, like when you say at least on Microsoft for a Sony controller or something like the that's neither here.
Right. Look, they might have went down there with the Wii controller.
But they went down there with that, bro. That's. But hey, like I'm switching it back and forth, but it just keeps on saying unregistered or it keeps freezing.
Right. My Game Shark controller is not working. I know you remember those back in the day. Wow, not even Bluetooth, IR wireless.
Good Lord. Good Lord.
My man went to the way back machine, back to what, GameCube?
Nintendo 64.
I think
GameCube was fun though. Yeah, GameCube was fun though.
Yeah, it definitely was back in the day. It was.
You got me through.
Pre-GameCube, we talking about like Sega Saturn. Actually, Dreamcast might have had. I think Dreamcast had some wireless controllers. Yeah, it might have been Dreamcast. Either Dreamcast or Sega Saturn, Sega CD. Like the way back machine. Back into the dawn of time.
Ain't no PlayStation playing wireless. I was always stuck to the to the wire. I always had the wire controller. So
actually, he is right. They did have a little. It was almost a memory card size thing that you actually stuck into it, and it read the controller. I think it was the black controllers, I believe.
My family, I didn't see it. I worried about it.
Yeah, it was the black controllers. They had those black controllers.
I got my two controllers. I was happy.
Right, any controller is good for me as long as I can play. But I do remember they had the black controllers that had the little IR thing in them and the little battery pack. The things I think that might have been the first time I ever bought rechargeable batteries. Thought I was doing something.
How you dropped this touchdown pass? That's crazy.
I remember the Dreamcast had a little memory card with the little fake pixel video on it that you could look at the Dreamcast controller while you was playing. Especially Virtual Fighter for Dreamcast.
And that's ball game.
Who won?
Jaguars. In the Saints, though.
I could have sworn I told somebody the Jaguars would win.
Yeah, for me, like I know the Saints have players, but I just don't believe. I never believed in Derek Carr. You mean to tell me like you could get it done with Devontae Adams, Hunter Renfrow? You know, I understand like people were unhealthy, but still though, like you had multiple weapons throughout the years, and now you come to a team that has more weapons that you can ask for. You still can't get them that. All right.
Derek Carr is like Jared Goff. You have to put him in certain positions that give him certain options. Like you have to call a play. These are your 3 options you need to focus on. And if this is open, then look over here. But this is these are your progressives. And if all else fails, look over this way to see if anything's open. That's what you have to give Derek Carr. You cannot give him a 3 wide, tight, 3 receivers, tight end, and a running back, call a play, and let him decide his progressions. You have to tell him, you look here, you look here, you look here, and if that doesn't work, drop it off in the flats and let the running back do what he can. You have to give him direction. You have to give him the play and direction at the same time. And that's what Sean McVay did for Jared Goff in Los Angeles for the Rams. What Sean McVay did for the Rams when Jared Goff was there is he gave him the play and he told him what he should be looking for at the same time. And he got sick of it. And that's why he mortgaged the house to get Matthew Stafford. Because he said, I'm sick of basically putting him where he needs to be. And he's still making mistakes. If you ever look at a play call, Sean McVay calling into Jared Goff, it was like a 12-second exchange. When Sean McVay calls in a play to Matthew Stafford, is a 5-second exchange, and Matthew Stafford does the rest. You can literally see how
That's it. Matthew Stafford like said, Cooper Cupboard's not open. Nah, fuck it. The play did already.
Right. I mean, Jared Goff did the same thing Kirk Cousins does. This is my number 1 receiver. If he's not open, here's my number 2. If he's not open, just throw it to the number 1 receiver. Like, that's literally what it is.
It's just force feeding somehow. Like, the first game Cooper Kupp came back from injured, man had 200+ yards. Like, what the hell? Like, you miss him that bad?
I've literally seen Kirk Cousins be facing this way and throw a pass this way. He's running from the defender and just throw a pass this way in the direction of Justin Jefferson. And it'd be a catch. And people are like, and Kirk Cousins made the throw of his life. I'm like, he made a throw running for his life.
Right. That's how I caught it.
Right. He made a throw while running for his life, but he didn't actually make a throw of his life. He just ran and threw it and said, please, Justin, save me.
Right. Just how Matthew Stafford had Megatron. Bro. And you know what's crazy?
Right. They literally said his range of reach was the size of a garage door.
His hands are ridiculous. Well, they fucked up now, but in his prime, yeah, his wingspan is ridiculous.
But not even his hands, like his reach and his vertical was literally like if you can throw it within 9 feet of him, he can acquire the ball. That is insane.
And the fact that I watched the ball within.
You said what?
The fact that I watched that, that one of his infamous catches where he caught over 3 people. Like I watched that live. It's even more insane. I looked at my mom. I was like, "How the fuck was that possible?"
I don't know if you use those words because you're still here, but
nah, she let me. She looked at me like, "Boy," but then she looked at the screen like, "Yeah, you're right."
She's like, "It was crazy, but you pushing it right now."
Yeah, it was one of those moments.
I'm gonna let you slide on this one, but next one, yeah, you ain't making it out of here.
And the next thing, one of those feats where Julio Jones had a 300-yard game on us. I'm thinking like 300.
Why?
Some receivers don't even make it to 700 in the season. This man is halfway to that mark. One
In
game
one
against
day.
us. So many people got fired up that game. I'm glad.
Unfortunately, one of them probably could have been a coach that could be the head coach now instead of who you got.
Listen, man. With that, I just hope the
Right.
I don't know what we're doing. Like, I really
Weezy
don't.
said you ain't have to bring up the pain.
Weezy, I done witnessed the same amount of pain games as you have. Like I got it all. Like
Right.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. Like the 2010, I almost didn't make it. Like, I really almost didn't make it. It was so bad. Like 2010 was so dark. It was just so bad. Thank God the Lakers won the championship that year.
Okay.
I just don't know.
So if they did bring back the Megalodon and it ended up being a huge mistake, how hard do you think it would be to kill them all off?
We can't. Nah, I ain't gonna say we can't, but we probably have to bring back the nukes or whatever that calls Japan to ceasefire and quit.
That'll be the nukes. So
Or to build or build a bigger one, because I'm thinking like, I'm thinking about the size of the Megalodon. That's add about my work, maybe.
So you would not be able to actually kill them off because of their size and general muscle stature. They were believed to actually be able to live deeper than we would be able to reach them as far as artillery wise.
Hmm.
You could do drop charges from a sub, but at the same time, there's so many overhangs and caves that are literally in the ocean. But from what scientists believe, the only thing that actually killed them off was that they grew so big that there wasn't enough prey for them to eat, that they basically just died of hunger because they were so much bigger and slower than the smaller animals because of the size that they had become. So if we brought them back, and evolution would have to take care of it for us. That's why I said the bait, like the whales that are in the ocean, would be prime pickings. Like orcas, orcas would basically become a dolphin. Because even if you got 4 orcas, the density of a megalodon and the width of it from side to side, like they basically just be poking a bear. Because orcas can attack a great white, but orcas jump a great white. They don't take a great white on one. It's 3 or 4 of them. They wear it down and attack it from multiple sides. So until the great whites which would be on their food chain, the orcas, which would be on the food chain, whales, until they run out of food, there's not really much that we can do. I mean, we are just not equipped to say, okay, we're going to eliminate them. Like it would take us probably 4 or 5 years and a hell of a lot of plating on a sub to even be able to get deep enough to attack them. And let's keep it 100. They're going to be able to actually see the sub before the sub sees them. I mean, maybe if you use heat signatures, it's possible, but you wouldn't truly know where they were. And as far as subs go, subs probably aren't much bigger than the goddamn shark itself. So, I mean, it depends on what size sub you're using.
It depends on the sub. But you talk about a full range like a Navy submarine, you may have a chance. Maybe.
I mean, it's not too many things that's gonna beat that. So you might create an opponent for it and create another problem for yourself.
Like how they did in the recent Godzilla versus Kong. Like they were trying to create what they mean to create Mega Godzilla, but Mega Godzilla was whooping Godzilla's ass. Then Kong had to re pop in back and shoulder and help out. I don't know if y'all watched that movie, but Godzilla was getting his
I
ass
watched
whooped.
it.
Godzilla was
Godzilla was
getting
getting mollywopped.
I was like, fight back, fight back. Oh my God, fight back. Come on, get up. Where you at? Help this baby, please. I know you got beat, but he ain't supposed to go out like this.
Yo, Godzilla was getting smacked around like a domestic dispute. I was like, Lord Jesus.
I was like, yeah, I don't know. I think Apple TV picked up like a series. I don't know if it's like a new movie or a TV series where supposed to have like the legend, the company, the legend. Yeah, supposed to like continue on. I don't know when the next monster movie is gonna be though. I can't.
They're doing a Godzilla Monarch, which I think is supposed to like show
Monarch,
more of the super and whatever super kaijus is what they call them. They call them kaijus. So
Yeah.
show off the super kaijus to some extent. I'm not sure exactly how it's going to go, but
because we saw a lot of them at the end of King Godzilla versus King Ghidorah, but they were like more like tier B-ish, tier B, tier C.
Yeah, but I mean, some of them is like it's like, how did they decide who teams up? Like, I don't understand this. Hey, oh boy, hey, you remember I helped you a couple thousand years ago, right? I'm gonna need you to, yeah, I mean. And then next thing you know, in the next movie, these two fools fighting. And so it's like, hold on, wasn't y'all just friends in the last movie? Now y'all beefing? Like,
I still can't believe Godzilla beat King Ghidorah because I'm thinking, man, how the hell you beat a three-headed lightning dragon? But he did it.
I do want to see like a new high quality Pacific Rim because it's just like even the Meg. People are like, oh, it was such a horrible movie. The Meg is a movie that was made by an Asian film company. It's not like one of these American, we're spending $500 million on a movie type thing. It was made as an Asian.
And it still sucks. Some of the movies still suck because like what? Like hell, I'm gonna say it. The Lion King, the real life, Lion King,
live action joint.
Yeah, live action. That shit sucked.
Right, but I mean, like the Meg is made by the Meg was actually made by some small studio and across the wall. So if they would have had a better, like a higher budget to hire better people, because even throughout the movie, it's some of the stuff isn't translated over at all. Like some of the guys are speaking, they're speaking another language, and you just have to read the subtitles. It is what it is. Like you don't see anytime that they're on land, it is not American. Like you can tell they're not in America. They're in the Pacific Ocean over there somewhere, and it is what it is. You lucky you're getting this movie. And I don't think Pacific Rim was one of those movies that got like the actual treatment that it needed to. It could have been a great movie, but for how much sci-fi effects that you needed, some of it was kind of like, look, we working with what we got. Either you like it or you don't. And I don't need all movies to come from America to be huge budget or whatever. But some movies, they're good enough, and you could tell there was room to make it great, but the budget wasn't there to make it great, or they couldn't hire the talent that they needed to improve on certain small elements.
But then you have some of your small budget movies that just happen to blow up. Like I forgot. I don't know if you ever watched a movie called was it Terrifier? Terrifier with Art the Clown?
Yeah, but I mean, those are movies that they don't have the budget, but they have the talent. And that's what I'm saying. Like Pacific Rim didn't have the budget to not just acquire the talent, but also like if you look at Transformers, Michael Bay actually said that's like that first like 15 seconds in the first movie when they were in the final city and Megatron was fighting with Optimus Prime. That first 15 seconds took like 3 guys working together 8 hours for that first 15 seconds. So that first 15 seconds took 24 man hours just getting all the CGI and everything correct. And he said that was an average for some certain important fight scenes that 15 seconds took 3 guys 8 hours to do, 24 hours of man hour, 24 hours of work technically, because it's 3 guys by 8 hours. So you can imagine Pacific Rim and these giant things, and you're destroying cities and stuff like that. Hey, I don't have 24 hours of man hours for you guys to work on this one building, trying to make sure that it shatters right. So do what you can in this 4 hours and get up out of here. And I mean, that's what the budget is on some of those movies. Like they just can't waste that much time on certain details. Like you just have to accept it for what it is and enjoy the good story.
Well, if there's like a good plot, a good story.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming if you're, to say we're talking about the low budget ones that are good movies, they're usually good story, and we have a good story, and we did the best we could CGI wise.
All right.
And some of these movies that don't need CGI, they just need good talent. They don't always need a budget. But Pacific Rim, that needs a good budget. That needs good talent and budget. Transformers, it needs both. Even though the stories for Transformers weren't that great, the CGI and the budget was huge.
Look, and then you got paid to do the cliche Optimus Prime speeches, like just come up with the new one. Almost at the end of every damn Transformer movie, Optimus Prime got to say some patriotic, stuff that I don't be paying attention to. And after he said, "I am Optimus Prime," I click back in.
Look, when he popped off on the Fallen, and he blew his whole entire head off. He put the joint through his back and blew his whole head off.
And I say, "No, Optimus." I'm thinking like, "Hey, you already made your bed, bro. You already knew this gonna happen. There ain't no begging now."
He did that, and I was sitting there like, "You fucked up now." That's all I can say.
Like every time Optimus Prime put that shit, like pull this shit up on the they messed up. Oh Lord, yeah.
Yo, when he was in the back, when he was fighting in the woods and he was whooping all their ass, I was like, look, if you would have just not worried about Sam and just kept whooping ass, that would have been the end of the movie right there. Because he came through them woods and you could look when Optimus is pissed, you can tell.
Like when he I forgot the one where he gained all like the powers of the old the cyber the boss that came before him, like he gained all them parts, bro. He whooped Megatron's ass.
Yeah, that's in the second one where he transferred the joint from Jetfire.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, he laid hands. Look, Starscream said, when you run away, you live to fight another day. Megatron was like, he was like, this makes sense. He said, this makes sense. And the Fallen was sitting there like, come on, bro. Man, he beat the Fallen like them hyenas beat Scar.
Oh, Lord.
He Lion King'd his ass. And then there was the what was the movie right before the last night where where he found the dude who was tracking down and he had killed Ratchet. And Optimus, this whole thing was like, I never harm a human. Once he was like, oh, so you're the one who killed Ratchet. He blew Fraser straight away. I forgot who Kelsey Grammer, the guy who played Fraser. He blew his ass straight away. That was the movie before the last night when he went to go hunt down the I keep forgetting her goddamn name. She's the one who came in the last night when Shia LaBeouf, left the franchise and they had the Mark Wahlberg play the hero who revived Optimus Prime after he found him in the movie theater.
Yeah. I know which one you're talking about. Yeah, I can't remember her name either.
Yeah, she a crazy little thing. She's definitely crazy. But that did set up the arc that came to be this movie. But this movie is the last Transformers that came out is actually it's not Michael Bay. So they basically like reset the Transformers universe, which I was happy about because like cars that weren't what they used to be existed. And honestly, when Michael Bay killed off Ironhide, I was like, that was like just dumb.
Yeah, I was kind of let down with me.
I understand why they did it because Ironhide has Ironhide for most people who don't know, they know Optimus Prime is this and the third. Ironhide is one of the old Autobots. He's older than Prime. And that's why even in the movie, he said, Prime, like stand up, make something of yourself. Like Prime knows going against Ironhide is not exactly, you might live, but it's going to hurt. Like even in his bio, it is said that Ironhide, if you got Ironhide outnumbered 3-1, you're still going to lose. Unless it's Megatron, Decepticons outnumbering Ironhide 3-1, the Decepticons are still outgunned. He's one of them old motherfuckers that you can't kill him. Like he's gonna kick your ass. Like just like the scene before he died. It was 2-on-2. He done shot the other one, threw the other one in the goddamn trash, and blown the other one away. And all I forgot what's his name. All what's his name did was cut the bomb off his back. That's all he did. Ironhide basically mopped the other two up, and old boy just cut the bomb off his back while Ironhide was in the middle of kicking ass and said, "Class dismissed." That's real life all he did. Oh, let me cut this bomb off your back. Ironhide's busy whooping ass. Appreciate you. And that's what that was. That's all it was. So they had to kill Ironhide off because that's all the ammunition. That's the firepower. That's the firepower. Yeah, Bumblebee is considered a teenager. And the Michael Bay universe, Bumblebee is only a teenager compared to the others. That's why he's still so small in stature because he's still growing. He's just a teenager. That's why they're like, he's a scout. He can handle himself pretty well, but he's literally a youngin'. So he's just a scout. Like, hey, go figure out what they're doing because you're small enough to fit here, there, and everywhere. Come back and tell us what's going on.
So the real G's can figure it out and beat them.
Yeah, but I mean, he's still growing up. He's young. Like when they left Megatron, when they left Cybertron, he was literally just starting to grow up. So he's literally just started to grow up. Like Optimus Prime was what you would consider in his early 20s before he got the spark. And
give me the cube, boy.
Right. I said, look, if you keep calling me boy, I'm going to whip your ass. Like, you call me boy one more goddamn time. Me and Megatron would have had to have it out. You call me boy one more goddamn time, I'm gonna drop an EMP on your dumb ass. boy, bruh.
It's like Frieza saying monkey for the billionth time to Goku. I'm like, bro, you gotta whoop Frieza's tail just for that alone.
Right, you call somebody monkey, you the one with a tail.
Right. And I'm calling Vegeta Prince Monkey. I'm like, come on, Vegeta, bro. You gotta have some fight back somewhere down there. Well, you ain't gonna just take that shit, bro. Nope, all Vegeta did in the first one, just take a laser, bring it to the chest, and that was it. Go ahead, handle it all.
No, I don't think. I think Nappa's the one. No, what is his name? Raditz was the one who took the special laser beam.
No, I'm saying when they went to Namek and they finally made Frieza get out that chair. Vegeta had killed all the majority of the Ginyu Force. He got the Frieza, took a fucking laser beam to it was popping out blood. Then Goku had to handle the rest.
Shit, no, Goku handled the Ginyu Force. Vegeta was handling like the little minions. Goku, Ginyu Force, Goku with them.
No, I'm saying that Vegeta. No, I'm saying that. No, it was like kind of like half, not half that, but saying Vegeta. There was the blue guy. What was his name?
You talking about
No,
Burger?
No.
You talking about Kui?
Not cool.
Kui was in Ginyu Force.
No, I'm saying it was a couple. Was that the Ginyu Force?
No, Goku whooped the Ginyu Force. Remember Jason Birder, and then there's Raccoon. You gotta remember, Goku carried Raccoon off the battlefield and tossed his ass like, "Hey, this is who you got."
Yeah,
Goku
man.
came against the Ginyu Force. Vegeta
Well,
was
Goku
fighting.
hit Goku hit that man with the fucking with that one punch gut check. It was over. Raps.
Look, we ran through the topics and now we just out here talking cat shit. It's a hangout session, so I understand if you got to go to sleep. We might not be on here too long, but we might be on here long. We never know. We planned on 2 hours. It's been 2 hours and 45. It just be like that sometimes. Sometimes it's 30 minutes. Sometimes it's 45. Sometimes we take lunch and come back.
Yeah, actually, I gotta get this on, man. He aggravated now.
Yeah, he ain't in for that BS.
Yeah.
He just gave that look like, what you say?
All right. Well, with that being said, it's been a good one. I think one of our longest ones.
Yeah, because this Popeye is still calling me. Yo, that's that trust spicy mayo, brethren. All you know, good food. Look, I still got a biscuit, 4 strips, and some red beans and rice left.
Nice.
It's about to be a problem, and then I'm probably gonna. I'm probably gonna have to cook something to because my 1 a.m. meal that is about to take place after this Popeye, so I can actually go to sleep. Yeah. Well, actually, this might be enough to make it, but I'm gonna wake up hungry than a bitch. Yeah, regular biscuits. I ain't got no pot pie to put over my bit. If I had that pot pie mix you to put over this dry ass Popeye's biscuit.
Peace on earth.
Oh yeah, that Sunday morning game day grub is gonna be different. Yeah, y'all gonna hate me. Y'all gonna hate me Sunday morning because it's gonna be something serious. But yeah, I think we're gonna get up off of here. I wonder what my Streamlabs is gonna say about. I wonder if the Streamlabs even tracks when I'm on a multi-stream. Because trying to get my my giveaway game right. Okay. So it better be paying attention to this multi-stream while I'm doing my thing. Some bitch. Oh, okay, cool. But yeah. So I mean, you can find me A6 Ghost. You pretty much already found me. You can find merch a6ghost.com. Instagram, where I mostly just post reels of other people's funny stuff or attractive women. I ain't gonna lie. I am married, but I have eyes. Or, well, that's A6Ghost _. Same thing for Twitter. Twitter, I'm here and there. Jay, you want to let them know where they can find you, how they can find you?
J6 on everything I do. Type it in. It should be me. If not, I want to say I'll get them all out of here. But I plan on going live tomorrow, probably around the same time. Oh dang. All right, cool. But B said kind of filling in for Reg because he was sick. Thursdays, somewhat Fridays, kind of I guess our days. But yeah, definitely. I'm gonna try to go on live tomorrow. Hopefully, it won't be as in depth, as this. Quick little hour, 30 minutes. And get up on out of there. You know, but yeah, Jada6 on TikTok, Jada6 on Twitter, PSN. You know, if you ever wanna say game, I'm on there. Oh, yeah. But yeah, it's not hard to find me.
Yeah, look, I see what Jordan did. We was talking about what's his name, calling him boy all goddamn movie. It took me a second, but you slid that one in there. That's how you know it's getting late. I'm getting hungry.
All right.
But tomorrow, being Friday, I got about 3 or 4 food reviews I need to do that I'm gonna release as shorts. And yeah, maybe Saturday I might do a more in-depth food review of those shorts.
All right.
Saturday, or actually I might do them Sunday after I get to Delaware because I'm in Delaware this week again. So I set up the slides. We'll do the food reviews. Jay or Reg, if one or both of y'all want to join, so y'all can ask me more questions about my fat adventures, I'll be around.
Most definitely.
But until then, we're out. Y'all be good. Peace be with you. Eat happily and mightily. And we will see y'all sometime